Okay. Hello, nerds, and welcome to Nerds with Dice. We are here with Oops All Ace, our TSL anthology. If you've already been here, you saw we had a little bit of a audio issue that hopefully, fingers crossed, we found the solution to. But since we are having audio issues, we're going to go ahead and do a soft reset here at the beginning. Reintroduce our cast, go around and make sure you've heard all the information about the amazing charity that we're doing. I know that some stuff was heard and some stuff wasn't. Um, and we're gonna cross all our fingers and toes that we're not gonna have any more audio issues today. So I am going to have everybody. I know we already did this once, but go around and just really quickly reintroduce yourself.
My son isn't here, but my son is a cat. He might pop up. He's 13 years old. His name is Polka Dots, and he's a good boy. But hi, my name is Merm. I use they, she pronouns. And today I'll be playing our son hand slash chef, Faifala, who uses she, they pronouns.
Hi, I'm Charlie. My pronouns are they, them. Today I'm going to be playing Callie, our nature witch, who uses they, they pronouns. And then they also have a familiar named Charmander, based off my cat, who is not here, but pretend right there, sleeping on the other side of the apartment. Um, yeah.
Hi, it's Dizzy the Bard. That was me playing a second ago, presumably. Don't go subscribe to my Patreon. You get nothing for doing so. You just get to feel like a good person for supporting an artist. I'll be playing Heck, the spooky witch, potentially the toxic witch. I suppose we'll have to see and find out. And I think we both just primarily go by they, but I guess Heck is more they she.
Okay, I think it's working. Cool. Jesus, this stupid Wi-Fi. We're fixing it, but apparently not today. I'm Sneha. I'll be playing the Dreamir Sayo, they, them. I will be, I'm going to say it again, if anyone sees me messing with my dice, I'm not fudging rolls. I'm just using the worst dice in the world because they fit the character. It cannot be helped. Yeah,
It's unfortunate that's sometimes the way that it is.
it
Um,
truly is not even up to me.
so as if you were here before, you already heard, but I am going to say it again because it is the most important part of the reason that we are here today. We are raising money. This is a charity game. We have two different giveaway donations happening today. If we reach the $50 mark, we will be giving away a PDF copy of Fabula Ultima. That will happen here in the chat, so you do need to be present to win. If we reach the $100 mark, we will be giving away a gift card to Die Hard Dice, and that is based purely on your donation. So if you donate any amount from $5 to $50, doesn't matter how much you donate, you will be automatically entered to win that gift card. And you do not need to be present to win. You do need to give your email address so that we can contact you if you win. If we don't know who you are, we will not be able to hunt you down. That being said, quick little recap on who we are and why we are here. We are going to jump back into our story. As I said, this is our third in our TSL anthology. In the most recent session that we had, we left with our players very, very fragmented and split. Not on purpose, but on accident, as Heck tried to astral dance through the very fabric of reality to slip in between the cracks of what is seen and what is unseen in order to very, very quickly move themselves and Ace back to the castle. As you were in the middle of doing that, as you were in the middle of dancing this dance, doing something that you've never done before, you slowly felt the others start to slip away. The others who you had not invited with you on this trip. This was meant for you and Ace to get a one-way ticket back to the castle, but everyone decided to tag along, which is obviously why it didn't work. But you find yourself back in Ace's room, back exactly where you intended to be, except you are absolutely and entirely alone. It's just you and your one friend who you always keep in your pocket.
Best case scenario, they're all together right where I left them. I should go check, though. I think I have to go check. This is why we don't invite people. This is why, all right. I will go check right where I left them. And if they're not there, then I will worry.
All right. You start to head out of Ace's room as we had just gotten to before when we started encountering audio issues. You step on a notebook and find some slightly poorly done sketches of all of you in apparently Ace's style. You don't really know, you've never really seen Ace draw before, but you do know that they jump hobbies a lot. They have a lot of different hobbies. They try a lot of different things, often borrowed from their friends. This is likely something that they're picking up from Mask, your friend who you have not seen in a couple of weeks, but that's very normal for Mask. Where are you headed? I know you had mentioned earlier you didn't want to run into any guards, you didn't want to hear any questions, but where are you headed as you leave Ace's room?
Uh, I think I am going to try to get back to the part of the market that had the sort of menagerie and everything happening.
Okay, you're gonna try
At the
and
very
basically,
least,
yeah, just go,
maybe there'll be clues there.
yeah, back to where you were. You start to head out. The one thing you mentioned was that you did not want to run into anyone. You didn't want to run into any guards. That lasts about a hallway before you are seen. Uh, you are you run into a stern-looking, middle-aged, femme-presenting person wearing the full guard uniform and attire, who looks directly at, like, just makes direct eye contact with you in a moment. What do you think? Because you don't have a title. You don't work here. How do you think the guards normally go about addressing you?
Uh, I think they don't, is the thing. I think
Yeah.
just
Hey,
full
you.
stop,
Yeah.
there's not a normal thing that they call me because they normally don't talk to me because I'm normally never here without at least 2 or 3 other people
Mhm.
to do all of the socializing. Like if it's ever just me alone, it's like on the way back from or to like the bathroom, but like thus far that's never been more than like a 30-second walk. It's just, so okay, I'll just quickly run over here, quickly run back. I've never had to speak with a guard myself.
Yeah. Well, you are currently entirely alone. So, with no other options, this woman walks up to you. I do think it is kind of a from across the hall. Like, you there? Where is the royal heir?
I don't know.
You are one of his friends, are you not? I've seen you around here before.
Yes, that's true. Yes.
Are you one of the ones who runs off after him when he gets
Yes.
lost?
Yes,
You are.
exactly. And that's what we're doing right now. Yes.
Well, you do know that he needs to be back here in 2 days' time. There is a meeting of the utmost importance with the entire council. We are still debating what to do about the dragon situation. And of course, Ace must be there for that.
Of course, of course.
Do you perhaps need help or assistance in locating her?
Yes. That would be helpful. How many people can you spare?
I don't have the authority to offer that, but I will go and talk to my captain immediately and apprise her of the situation. Let her know that Ace is still missing, and we'll see what we can do. I don't know how much you know this. Maybe you've heard a little bit about like whispers that there are some people among the guard who aren't super happy that every time Ace goes missing, it's like this random ass group of just like the baker, the gardener, whoever the heck you are, who wind up going and finding the heir to the throne. And so there are some people among the guards who really don't think that that's any of your business or should be your job. However, the guards also
I
do
agree.
consistently prove that they can't keep track of Ace. So you're in a bit of a like catch-22 situation, maybe of like, yeah, it's not our job, but we seem to be the only ones who can do it correctly. Um, yeah, you might kind of get the sense that this guard doesn't really have a ton of confidence, which is unfounded because you have always located Ace eventually. Sometimes it takes longer than people would like, but Ace is a hard person to find. Um, but the guard kind of gives you one last look over and then will turn and walk away, presumably to go and talk to her captain to see how many people can be spared to look for Ace.
Yeah. While that's happening, I'm just gonna leave.
You walk out of the castle. Ace's room is on a higher floor, so you have to walk downstairs in order to walk out. As walk, you walk down past the kitchen. The doors are not open, there's no one in there. But even still, as you walk past, the smell of fresh baked bread is still heavy in the air around the kitchen here. And you smell, as you kind of walk by and take in that smell, you smell recently baked bread. You maybe smell cheese and meat. You know that this is Fifala's kitchen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if there's something that's already made in there, it would be kind of rude not to just at least eat it. You don't want to waste things. If there's any more of the sourdough, I'd like to check on that. She keeps not bringing me anything with sourdough. I don't know why. I'm fairly certain I said I liked it, I think. I'll check. I'll check and see if there's any sourdough on the rack. If not, I'm leaving.
You open the doors into the kitchen, and what you can tell is immediately there's the very obvious evidence of many different attempts at cheeseburger making. I think there's probably somewhere like a list of different combinations of like different bread, meat, cheese, uh, with based on like a rating scale of how much you liked it, which you notice is pretty inaccurate. Uh, you're like remembering and you're like, no, I liked that one, and it's like crossed out with like a bunch of X's and like really, did not like is written next to it. Um,
Like looking at him like, is she trying to make me a bad cheeseburger? Why? That's
it's
disappointing. I thought we were closer than that. Oh well.
it is clear that a lot of effort has gone into whatever this is. There are multiple different kinds of bread, no sourdough, but multiple different kinds of bread here. If you do go and like open and look in wherever the colder section is, there is multiple different kinds of cheese. Um, but nothing is currently like put together or assembled. There is definitely bread you could take, but yeah, there's no sourdough here.
No point then.
You turn around and walk out of the kitchen, starting to make your way out. And as you make your way out of the kitchen and out of the castle, you have one final stop before you fully leave, which is the gardens. As you walk out through the garden, an area catches your eye where there's some blankets. It looks like some stuff has been put under a bush. and you realize that Callie has been sleeping out here because no one else would be sleeping out here. You know Callie has a room in the castle,
Yeah, it's a
but
nice room. Her room is bigger than my entire apartment. Whatever. Uh, oh no. What if I got sent somewhere separate from the pet, the little one, whatever its name is? Oh, I'm going to have to try and find both of them in a row. So I'll save that for last because that sounds like a lot of work. Okay. I want to run back into the kitchen and grab some kind of a personal belonging. I want to grab a blanket or a pillow or something from out here. I don't know if that will help, but at the very least, if it doesn't help, I can just give it back to them and make them carry it when I do find them.
hey,
Something.
you run off to grab personal belongings from all of your coworkers. How does Heck think about the others in her mind?
She doesn't, by and large. You know, it's one of those.
Those
Why put a
people.
label on it? It doesn't matter that much.
Those people I interact with sometimes.
Yeah, the ones.
Yeah, those ones, yeah. As you are doing that, let's find out where some of those people are, as we are going to switch over to Fifala. Fifala, you had in your recollection just given Ace something that would make them tired, sleepy. You wanted them to rest and be calm and stop running away.
Yes.
And you had picked them up and put them on your back as you had been getting ready to head out before all of a sudden everything just went dark and you reappear. I'm going to have you describe where you reappear because I don't know and I am curious and excited to hear what does Fala's childhood home look like?
Um, Fifala, their home is I'm gonna put them in a very standard like fale, which is a Samoan home. Um, they live on the water with their family. They have a very large house without walls sort of thing. There is like a floor with beams going up to a roof that kind of like comes to like a rounded top, but there's nothing inside. It's just a place that is covered from rains and things like that. It is the bad insect season, so there's mosquito netting all like from pillar to pillar, and then there's like little places where there's mats that has like mosquito netting there as well, to make sure that all of the little siblings and things um, don't get eaten alive at night. Um, to there's like in the immediate area there isn't a whole lot. It's just the home and looking out to the ocean so that there is that like natural um wind to cool off, especially during those hot days like right now with all of these stupid bugs. But there's a small path, just like probably like 100 yards to the right of the building where Fifala is now, that leads to where food can be prepared. It's covered, it's in like the dense parts of the bush or the forest. So it's secluded and away from everything and not in the open, just so that kind of everybody knows where to go for that. But yeah.
At the moment when you arrive here, there's no one here. You don't see anyone. Is that usual or unusual?
um it is the hot season, so and then time of day,
It is still it seems like no time has passed. It seems like it is still the same time as it was when you left, which was later afternoon.
Okay, that is strange because there's like my siblings are still going to school,
Mm,
but they should be home by now, and both of my parents should also be home to start, getting everybody rounded up for dinner.
yeah. When was the last time that you were here? How often do you come to visit?
I don't think I've visited since being uh, brought into the castle as a chef.
Yeah.
Um, I try to write home, but my mind's been a bit preoccupied with bread and meat
Mm,
and
mm,
cheese and various condiments that I don't think Heck found. But we're trying to figure that out too. Um, but it's not something that Faifala has really like kept up with.
mm.
And when she did, it was like, "Hi, miss you. If there's anything you need, just write back. Heart Faifala." So, um, yeah,
Yeah, so not the longest or lengthiest messages that you're sending back home.
not at all.
Okay. Yeah. Well, as you arrive here, again, against your will, after having been spun through space somehow, you do notice, particularly that Ace is not with you. You are
Okay.
here by yourself. None of your friends are around. And again, it's oddly quiet. I think, given the season, it's hot and you hear like swarms of bugs around
Yeah.
outside of that netting. And yeah, what are you doing? As you looking around, it doesn't look like anything has really changed, even though it has been a while since
Yeah.
you've been here. Everything looks very similar.
Okay. Yeah. The first thing that I'm gonna do is I haven't been to the ocean for a few years. So I walk out of the fale and go straight to the beach. And also while I walk there, I'm also kind of like looking to see if like anyone had like come down the land. And it's just kind of on the beaches off to the side.
Yeah, as you start to walk a familiar path, a path that you have walked down many times before, you do see one person up ahead, which is, I believe if I have this correct, you have one older sibling, and then after that, you are the oldest, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So the person that you see is the eldest sibling in your family, who you see a little ways down on the beach.
Um I hesitate to call out because I am now embarrassed and feeling really shitty because all of like the letters and time that has passed is kind of coming up, and now I'm like, oh, okay, well, I didn't. When was the last time I sent them anything? Ooh. Um, and so I'm not gonna say anything as I walk up because I'm very embarrassed.
Yeah, it does look like, at least for now, you're far enough away that they haven't seen you. Like, they haven't made eye contact with you. They're not looking in your direction. They're looking out kind of over the ocean, actually. So you do have time if you want to just kind of like make a quiet approach. If you want to try and like walk off without being seen, that is also an option.
I'm gonna get this over with and uh quietly approach to get their attention.
As you walk up, and your older sibling is m- much bigger than you. I think
Yeah.
very clearly someone who has done a lot of just like various kinds of physical work and physical labor, very like muscular and toned,
Yeah.
and So probably like a fairly intimidating figure to run into just in general without all of the history that comes with being siblings and being the younger sibling in this dynamic.
Yeah.
And then the added dynamic of the fact that, you haven't written, you haven't visited,
Yeah.
you haven't been here in a minute. I imagine Fifala is feeling very intimidated as you walk up.
Yeah.
Um, do you want to, as you get closer, like roll and try and like do the a figure out a person kind of move,
Yeah.
kind of like judge the body language here?
Definitely.
Gotta get some rolls in.
Yeah, right. And then figure out a person is
Figure out a person is rolling plus wit.
wit. Oh, perfect. That's a 7.
Okay. So on a 7 to 9, you may ask 2 questions, but they may ask one of you. And I imagine right now you're trying to just kind of ask and answer these through body language.
Yeah, absolutely. And where are the questions?
It's what are your feelings toward blank? What do you hope to get from blank? How could I get you to blank? What do you love most, and how would you feel if I blank?
I think yeah. How do you feel about your younger sibling?
About you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna say the body language in this one comes as you approach and wordlessly, without saying anything, your footsteps are heard and they turn around and see you. And there is the immediate reaction is just pure shock. Like eyes go wide, like, oh. And then it kind of goes to like, oh, you're back. And it is kind of a colder
Yeah.
look on their face. Kind of a and I mean their tone of voice certainly adds to it because the next thing they say is, "What are you doing here?"
You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if I was supposed to be here.
What do you mean you don't know?
So like I know our family isn't like super magical, but the castle is. And so I've, gotten to know some people um who use a lot of magic. Um and I think I was supposed to be transported back to the castle. Um but I'm here instead and I wanted to go in the ocean super fast.
That's what you want to do. Then it's right there.
What do you want me to do?
I want you to do whatever you want. And
You
there's like again in an answer to that question, like there's a lot of sarcasm
yeah,
in that. And though you're
yeah,
starting to get the sense the way they feel about you is mad.
yeah. Why don't you just be honest? Huh? Why don't you just say that you're disappointed in me, that you don't like the fact that I'm here right now, that I fucking suck as a sibling, that I don't write, I don't make sure that the entire family is doing well. I haven't stayed home to make sure that everybody eats, but I'm working for the people who make sure that we stay safe and that we don't have ships blowing up our coastlines anymore? Say something that isn't some fucking form of bullshit so that you don't have to feel things.
I don't know. It seems like you've said plenty.
I said plenty. I don't know how you actually feel. How, what? I feel like I'm being an older sibling in this very moment, and I hope that hurts. Because I'm carrying a lot. And I know you're carrying even more because you carry me and you carry 6 more siblings below me.
Yeah, you know, maybe if you wanted to be here and wanted to talk, we could talk. But it sounds like you're here on accident, like not even of your own will. So you should probably get back to where you were supposed to be.
That will take days. It takes days. Unless I have magic, and you know that we don't have magic. And that's just our family, and that is okay. I am happy to be home. I'm happy to see the ocean as blue as it is. And I'm so happy to see you. And I fucked up the last 4 years. Fuck. Uh, because I haven't been a good sibling.
Yeah. And
I don't know when I'm going home. I don't know when I'm going back to the castle. So I need you and I to try to make this work.
do you want to? I don't know. We didn't determine strings that you spent, that you have on your family.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's been too long that
yeah, for you to
I
have
have no idea.
any
Yeah.
real influence here. Um,
Yeah.
do you want to try and do any kind of like move here, or are you just trying to like make an emotional appeal to your older sibling?
I don't think I don't think I can. I mean, I would like to argue that I'm using oppositional defiance right now because they are my older sibling. Just so I can gain string on them right
Yeah.
away. Um,
I don't have your playbook open in front of me, so I am going to say that that works if it works in your playbook.
nice. Um, I think I just yeah, I want to try to entice them
Okay.
just so we can figure this shit out.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Uh,
appeal to someone's I mean, I think you're appealing to emotional sensibilities, that, like,
yeah,
last part you said of, we gotta try and get along, we've gotta try
yeah,
and figure something out here, we gotta
yeah,
try and make this work, I think counts.
yeah. Ooh, let's go. That's a 10.
Okay. Yeah, on a 10 plus, you gain a string, and they choose 1. Um, I think for this one, really the only thing that works is to promise something they think you want. So, there's a long moment of pretty tense and awkward silence where they just stare at you and like look you up and down and don't say anything. If you're gonna be staying for any amount of time, we can certainly get along as best as we can now. It won't be the same as before you left, but our younger siblings don't need to see us fight.
I agree with that. But I want to try it to try. If you let me.
If your trying can be more than what it's been the last 4 years, sure. Once I see that, we can try.
Okay. Where is everybody anyway?
Oh, uh, there's some event going on downtown today. Bunch of noise and loud screaming and children, and I get enough of that every day. So I let everyone. They're fine. They're fine without me.
Uh, I need help finding the way. I don't remember how to get there. Sorry.
Of course you don't. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Let's go.
Yeah.
And they will start to lead you off, and that is where we will leave you for a moment, as we will switch to see where Callie is. You, same as everyone else, were moving through the darkness in a way that felt weird and, you know, unfamiliar. Especially to, I think there's a moment where like Callie could tell that there was nothing alive there. Right? Callie is the nature witch. You connect to the plants, to the animals that are around you, and for a moment you were in a place where there was nothing that you could have communed with or spoken with if you had tried. But it's only for a moment before you reappear somewhere you have never been before. You have no idea where you are immediately upon rematerializing. All you know is that you feel Charmander has gone with you. You feel him sitting on your shoulder, and he makes kind of a disappointed, sad little noise at you. Um, and you can understand what he is saying. And he says, "Oh, I was having fun with all of the new friends that we made." As you know that he had been babysitting and watching over all of the animals, and now he
Mm,
doesn't have any of his animal friends anymore.
yeah, doesn't even have our other friends.
No. As you look around and you realize that you are alone in what appears to be the least ideal space that Callie could possibly be in. Because you're in a very large room with a stone floor and stone walls and no windows. And there's no life here either, aside from you and Charmander.
So I went from the feeling of being in the secret tunnel again to not being around anything that's alive. Super uncomfortable for Callie. Um, hmm. Well, I don't know how Charmander feels about it, but I don't think Callie likes it. Yeah. So they're gonna kind of just take a couple steps and look around. Um, and it's gonna feel very strange, not really feeling connected to anything in their environment. Um, what's the lighting situation in this room? Because there's, I think you said no windows.
Yeah, it's pretty dark in here. It is at first when you kind of realize that, you're like, "Oh, there's no windows. How am I seeing?" There
Mhm.
is all along the walls. It seems like something has been drawn or carved on the walls. And there's like a soft light coming from the drawings.
Okay. So Callie's going to go toward the source of the light to the wall and kind of, as their eyes are still adjusting a bit, try to determine like what is drawn there, what its function is, if it has any indication of where they are. Because, last they knew, they were uh, like in the market walking toward their friend group, basically.
Mm,
Um, and now they're here.
yeah. No, that is what you remember. And what you realize, the first thing that becomes immediately obvious is that wherever you are is not a place where anyone has been for a very long time. There is dust all over the floor, on the walls, in the carvings themselves. Um, there's not a ton of other indications of like wear or tear in here because there's simply nothing here. There's no furniture. There's no. It's empty. Like it's just empty. There's no way anything else could be worn down. The drawings themselves, particularly the ones that glow, seem to be star charts that are drawn of various constellations in various positions, but they are carved over other drawings that you can't quite. It's like trying to read hieroglyphs. Like you don't understand what this is saying, but it looks like it's telling some kind of story. Because there's pictures of people, but you don't know who the people are. Um, there's pictures of like where you can kind of put together like, okay, wait, that looks like the same person as that person over here. I think that person is the same person who I see here with this person, but it looks like some sort of like carved story with some reoccurring characters. You just don't have any context to put onto this of who these people are or what they're actually doing. I think the one thing that Callie does note that stands out as particularly interesting is that one of the drawings is very clearly of a dragon. And it's just a picture of a dragon. Again, there's no other real context here. It doesn't look like it's doing anything, like it's not lighting a town on fire or being attacked by people. It's just a dragon.
I thought of another question. Is the stone or like the material of the room, um, does it seem like similar enough to Ace's castle that they would think, oh, maybe Heck tried to teleport them all to the castle and they ended up in the basement or something?
Yeah,
The
it
brig.
does
I don't know.
it does seem similar-ish. In maybe around like I mean, the castle's old. It seems like this place is old. So there seems like there is some similarity.
I think that they noticed the they noticed the star charts. They think that's interesting to find in what is, potentially an underground space because it's not like they can look out the window and see the stars. So someone would have like very intentionally maybe drawn them out on parchment and brought them down, like an art commission or something. um, but yeah, they'd just be like looking at all these things trying to figure out because if things seem layered, it's not like there's not other space to draw, one, two, three. So like, why are they on top of each other? Why is it so chaotic? And then of course they see the dragon and they get all excited, but then they're like, what? Like they're starting to see some patterns and stuff, and then they get excited about the dragon because if nothing else, like it's the most exciting thing in this room.
Yeah, definitely. As
Most
you
familiar.
are looking at this and kind of taking all of this in, um, Charmander started to fly around the space because I don't think dragon hybrids understand art. Uh, so I simply don't think that he cares about what you're looking at. But he eventually you hear from behind you his voice being over here.
Oh, and then Callie goes to join Charmander, assuming that he's gone off to try to find a way out or maybe see something interesting, just kind of zooming around. And they do have a connection where they could like see through his eyes and everything, but that's not really necessary in this space. So they just like walk on over,
Yeah.
um, and it's just I'm guessing it's quiet too because there's
Oh yeah.
it's just nothing, so
Yeah.
they can hear like a little echo of like their footsteps and their cane, and it feels like very isolating.
Yeah. No, you are very alone here, other than your little companion. And yeah, as you expected, Charmander has gone to try and find a way out, and it seems like a way out has been found. There are two different like trap doors, one of which is in the ceiling, which is by where he is, like by the one in the ceiling. And because you're assuming basement, go up, go out, and I think you share enough of a connection that like if you were kind of casually thinking that, he picked up like, ah yes, go up, go out. There is, however, also then another like trapdoor in the floor that would obviously be going down. And Charmander just kind of like looks at you expectantly, and like looks up and looks at you.
And for lack of ladder or something, um, Callie is going to ask Charmander to explore through the trapdoor above, and they can open it, presuming there's like a little hook or something, um, so that he can go through, and then they could potentially explore even further down.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, Charmander, there is a hook. Charmander grabs it, pulls the hook, and flies up as you lift and are greeted with a lot of light, oddly, coming from below you, which I don't think is what Callie was expecting as you head down one more level that we will come back to find out what you find. As we are now going to transition to the one person that we haven't seen yet. Thayo, you were in the middle of nothingness for a moment. You had been following Ace. You know that Heck was doing something. And the first thing that kind of hits you of coming back to reality is a lot of noise. You are somewhere very, very loud and very, very crowded. And you realize when you kind of come back to, again, back to reality, back from wherever you were to wherever you are now, that you were in the middle of a very big crowd of people. Some kind of like it looks like some kind of dance floor in front of you actually that you kind of spun out onto in the middle of. It is so packed that it almost seems like no one around you has even noticed that you just materialized out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Sayo is not used to being touched. This is uncomfortable. Um, do I can I even see through the crowd to see like where we are? Is there a building? Are we outdoors? Or is it
You seem
just
to see
crowd?
you can see like up
Mhm.
to see like if something is above
Sure.
you, and you see like big covered tent.
Okay.
is up above you. Otherwise, around you is just crowd, and they are definitely you have spun out into, like, the middle of a dance floor because everyone
Mhm,
around you is moving, so you're getting, like, bumped into.
mhm. Sayo is going to be a little bit disruptive because they think that'll get people out of their way. They're going to point their body at what they think is a wall to get to sort of an edge of this and just put their head down and walk and be like, okay, we're going to be bumping into people, but hopefully that means they are not going to like try and get me to dance horrors. Um, and will just like let me through so I can get to the edge of this to get some sort of a feel of what the fuck is happening.
Yeah. As you start to make your way to the edge, someone, like, takes a step back and accidentally hits you and
Mhm.
turns around a little bit like, "Oh, are you okay, friend?"
I'm fine. I'm do they there's enough people here that like even if they don't recognize me, they don't take that as like a who are you?
No, yeah,
Okay.
it's crowded enough here that it's just
Yeah.
assumed you belong here.
Yeah. Are people holding anything? Drinks, sparklers? Is this a wedding?
It doesn't seem like the people here on the dance floor are holding anything,
Mhm.
but I'm assuming you just keep going, like, you're
Yeah,
moving to the wall.
I'm going to play it off as like a I'm just going to point at something that neither of us can see, but I have a goal, random stranger that I'm going for. You don't need to worry about me. Just like, yeah, over there.
Yeah, I think, he, like, looks where you point and, like, looks back and you're gone
Right, exactly.
already. Like, he sees you moving off through the crowd. And you eventually make your way, you reach the edge, and
Mhm.
yeah, you reach a wall off to the side, and it does look like this is a very big, potentially wedding party because you do see
Okay.
people holding drinks. You see people, yeah, with sparklers, with all kinds of,
Mhm.
there's a lot of noise. It's very loud. It's very crowded. But you have a moment where you're kind of off to the side doing
Mhm.
nothing to take this in.
What the fuck happened? How did we get here? Asayo is not going to read anything into having landed here specifically and is just going to try and get out and get home. Um, that being said, they are going to sort of in passing try and figure out whose wedding it is, just as like a uh, maybe that will help figure out where we are.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
if there's any like raised platform or a stage or like a seating guide, whatever they're called, something with like information or a place where like the more important people would be to figure out if she like knows anybody. They know anybody.
Yeah. You you're kind of standing here looking around, taking this inventory, and you get your plan in your head. Okay, I'm gonna
Hmm.
try and get a little bit more information, figure out where the heck I've landed, and then get out.
Yep.
Right. As you are standing there, you get I think that Sayo knows the feeling of being watched, like the
Oh
feeling
yeah.
of someone staring at
Hmm.
you.
Hmm.
You get the feeling that someone is watching you. And you turn to look and you see a little kid,
Hmm.
a little girl, maybe like 7, who
Hmm.
is staring at your arms because your
Hmm.
arms are glass.
Right. I forgot. They're not usually covered, but usually I am in company that's too polite to stare. So
Yeah, 7-year-olds are not too polite
yeah.
for anything. A 7-year-old will stare at you. Um,
How far away from me are they?
ah, not that far. It's the kind of thing of like a kid who's fascinated by something and it's kind of like creeping closer
Hmm.
and closer. So by this point, they are not within, like, distance where they could reach you, and I think
Hmm.
that when you look at them, though, they take that as, like, an invite to move closer and start
Okay.
talking to you because that's what a seven-year-old does. Um, you haven't
Of
grown to
course.
the age where you understand, especially, depending on the seven-year-old, social cues yet.
For
Um,
sure. I mean, neither has Sayo, so it's
no.
fair.
Um, so you turn and, like, look at this kid and see her eyes go wide. Um, and she I think she takes a couple more steps closer and just looks at you and goes, "Your arms are pretty."
Oh, whew. Thank you. I wasn't. Thank you. And Sayo is going to rotate the arm, their right arm, which is the one that has like compartments, and pop
Yeah.
out. They're not entirely sure what. They're hoping it's not like
A knife.
coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they get like a little dried flower or something. It's been in there for a while, but it's like holding its shape, and offers it to the kid.
How do you do that?
It's just got space in there, and holds out their arm. It's got like compartments of a bunch of stuff. They are wearing a shirt that kind of goes to the elbow. The dangerous stuff is usually up on their upper arm, so like they're just showing off like little scraps of notes and flowers and maybe some dried herbs and stuff.
Why do you have? Why does it look like that?
Ooh, I don't know. It's always been like that.
Really?
I know. It is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
And Sayo is going to try and get information out of a child without like scaring them.
Yeah.
And goes, I've lost sight of the bride and groom. Do you know where they are?
Oh, yeah. They went outside.
Oh, what's outside? I wasn't paying attention when we got here.
Ah, I don't know. Nothing special. Just there's trees and flowers and grass.
Okay. If this tent was erected somewhere in the city or somewhere nearby, do I know where it might be?
If it was in the city, and the way that the child is describing that, like, the outside area is somewhere very natural, right? You would imagine almost like you would be on the outskirts of the city. It's basically city, natural, land, next city, right? There's like a little bit of space in between each of the different cities that are close by the castle. And so the only place you could think of would be that you would be like a little bit removed from the city itself to be somewhere that had like a big open field or
Right.
a more like open area.
Okay.
There's not really anything like that in the city.
Yeah. And it's not, and it wouldn't be like an established like fairgrounds or something where you would put it.
No, probably not.
Okay. So best case scenario, we're somewhere nearby. Worst case scenario, who the hell knows? Great. I think Saya's going to sort of crouch down to the kid and go, "Why aren't you dancing?
Do you want to dance with me?
I have something to do really quick, but if it finishes quickly, I'll come back and join you.
Okay.
Keep that flower on you and I'll find you again."
Okay.
Sayo is nothing to find a person again, but they're not planning on coming back in. Hopefully the kid is not too broken up about it. And is going to try and the kid like pointed in a direction for outside is gonna try and just like work their way around the outside towards wherever that is, to find an opening of some kind.
Yeah. Again, it is pretty crowded in here. I think you were bumping into a decent amount of people as you go. But again, when you're in a space that's so crowded, everyone is kind of bumping into a decent amount of people.
Yeah.
So
people
no
are not
really,
like reacting to being touched 100% of the time, I assume. So yeah.
No one really seems to think too much of it as you make your way to the outside. And we will find out what is outside when we come back to you. We are going to move from here now that we have met everyone, seen where everyone is. We're actually going to move to our break, and when we come back, we will pick up with Heck and see where she is. So we will be back in about 10 minutes. And we're back. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a nice break. I have brought everyone back here for just a moment so we can remind you that we are here raising money for charity. I'm going to put that donation link right now in the chat. Uh, there we go. Oops, All Ace, our monthly charity stream. This month we are raising money um, to help with a organization that helps. I'm getting so many messages right now, right as we come back from break. Amazing, fantastic. Provide legal services to immigrants. So, if you are able to donate, we have that donation link that will be available in the chat through the rest of our stream. We do have two possible donation incentive rewards depending on how much we raise today. If we reach $50, we'll be giving away a PDF copy of the Fabula Ultima game. You need to be present to win. That giveaway will happen in the chat while we are streaming. If we reach our full $100 goal for today, we will be giving away a $50 gift card to Die Hard Dice. You do not need to be present to win that one. You can come here, stop by, donate, and leave, though we would love if you didn't. You just have to donate to that and give your email so we have your email. That being said, I have brought all of my lovely players back here for a moment, but we're not going to stay here because we left everyone in very different spots. We have left everyone very far away and very separate. And hopefully, they're about to fix that, but we will find out starting with Heck. You were still in the castle. You're the only one who, I mean, I guess Faithful knows where she is. You're one of the only ones who really knows where you are because you went where you intended, which was nice.
Yeah, I did my job. I followed my own instructions. They were simple.
Arrive at the castle. You had gathered up some things from your friends, and I believe you were going to do a playbook move, a commune with the unseen.
Yes. Oh, can I have made some adjustments to the notes in the kitchen?
Sure.
I'd like to have done that.
Yeah.
I'd
When
like to
you
rearrange a
go
couple of
back
those.
in to try and get something personal, if I follow. So yeah, you can go in. What are you changing?
Uh, I think I'm gonna change what order the notes are kind of like put up in on the wall. And I'm gonna dog ear the bottom of specific ones. So like I imagine it's just like a page. It's like a list of this kind of ingredient, a list of this kind of ingredient. I'm just gonna dog ear the bottom of the page so that the corner of it points at the right answer.
Okay.
That is a real thing that I used to do when I was in middle school and high school. I would dog ear the corner of my textbooks so that it would point at a passage that I needed to know for later.
You're pointing out the important stuff. So yes, you absolutely can do that. Are you going to? I think my one question before I have you do that role to commune with the unseen. Are you gonna grab something of Sayo's? Because you mentioned the blankets from the garden. You mentioned going back to the kitchen. Sayo has a room here. You know, I'm almost positive you know where it is.
Yeah, I should know where it is. Thinking about that. Yeah.
You'd have to go into their room uninvited, which is a little bit rude potentially. But you could.
So I think no. I think I'm gonna grab something of Sayo's from my place.
Okay.
I think I think I would die if it was known that I went into Sayo's room without them around. So instead, I will simply grab just like some like discarded underwear or something that's buried under a corner of my shit. And then also, I'll be back at my own place where I'm comfortable and not talking to guards and not being looked at by strangers. That's where I will do my communing with the unseen.
Probably smart. Yeah. So you gather up some belongings from all of your friends, hoping that will give you a hint. You're not really sure how that's gonna work. And then you can go ahead and commune with the unseen.
Yeah. So this will be a spirit roll.
Do that. Yep.
Fortunately, that's not one of the ones that specifically has a a detriment to it from being completely destroyed as a person.
Yeah, yeah, completely emotionally wrecked.
So, let's see. Well, that's an 8. That's not devastating.
And do you have any bonus to I guess it doesn't
Oh,
really
yeah, I
matter unless you
should
have
look at
+2,
what
yeah.
my bonus is.
If you have
God.
+2, you can get it to a 10.
Spirit, I have +2.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. 0, 0,
Then
-1, +2, +2.
nice, perfect. You get it to +10. So, when you perform a ritual to commune with the unseen, give a dangerous unseen a string on you. So do let me mark that down.
Yet again.
Yet again. And then you can choose two from the list, which I'm going to assume you have
Yes.
in front of you.
Uh, so the most important thing, I guess, can I choose the same one twice?
I don't see anywhere where it says that you can't. I
Okay.
do want you to, before asking this, to describe what your ritual looks like, how you're doing this communing.
Honestly, I think the funny thing is this is usually where Heck does this. So I think there are like runes and there's like an area kind of prepared
Mhm.
in the floor already, just that's been just pocket knife, like Swiss Army knife, scratched into the floor so that it doesn't have to be drawn every time. And you can't really tell that it's there because of the other debris that's around. So what it really looks like is walking in the door and then doing the like big step, drag your other foot behind you to scoot stuff out of the way of something. Just dragging the underwear pile, hook a foot, drag it to the side. Brush, brush. Okay, okay. Where's my stuff? Grab a couple bottles off this nightstand. Open the fridge. Grab a different bottle. I know where everything is. It doesn't matter if everybody else does.
No one else would know what to
Uh,
do with any of this stuff anyway, so.
yeah, and it wouldn't look like anything to anyone else either. It's again one of those what Hex sees is things start lighting up, glowing like little shadowy copies of things start kind of poking out of the walls and distorting. An outside observer looking through Hex window just sees her sitting in the center of a circle on the floor, eyes glowing and nothing else happening. But Heck is seeing like all these things kind of come to life.
Mm. And then what do you want to do here with the unseen?
I would like to learn something important from the unseen. I would like to learn the location of, and I think she thinks about it for a while. Like, I'm only going to get 2 of these before I have to extend myself further. What 2 will be the most helpful? So just pauses and sits there like,
Everything glowing around you.
oh God, who is even helpful? Well, I almost had to talk to somebody, and I don't want that to happen again. So I would like to know the location of Sayo, please.
You I think it's the you see it. I think what happens is the shadows on your wall start to move and start to make a picture. And at first it is just shadow, like watching someone make shadow puppets on a wall. But it starts to come to life now, more like a projector screen watching a movie as details start to fill in and you see Sayo talking to a small child in a very busy and crowded room, and you kind of watch the scene for a moment and then it zooms out from that scene because obviously you asked where are they. Just seeing them doesn't tell you where they are. And it zooms out from that scene until what is on your wall is very helpful, as the unseen can sometimes be very helpful. A map that shows your location sort of glowing and a path laid out that goes outside to the outskirts of the city to another little glowing dot. which you assume is where Sayo is.
Yeah, good to know. All right, so that potentially first, as long as somebody else isn't closer. But who's going to be closer? I just don't know how far away anybody is. Do I find Ace? I can't babysit Ace alone. If I find Fifala, she might make food. Hmm. But Charlie is a good tracker and did help find Ace to begin with. Yes. I'd like to find Callie.
Okay. You see Callie again as the shadows change. You see the shadowy outline form into Callie. You see the little shadowy figure of Charmander flying around. That little guy that hangs out with them. And you're like, okay, good. They're in the same location because that had been a concern of Hex earlier. Am I gonna
Yeah.
have to find both of them? Or are they
If
separated?
only if only one of them had come up, I'd be like, "Ugh, all right, well, I'm gonna commune again and look for everybody else instead.
But no, you do seem to see both of them. They seem to be in a very large, wide open space. And the image pulls out. You get that kind of bird's eye view of the map. Unfortunately for Heck, they are not in the same direction as Sayo. They are almost the exact opposite direction as Sayo. And they are even further outside of the city. Like, Sayo, there's the city. Sayo's kind of right outside the city. Callie is kind of in the middle of the hills to the north of the city.
Hmm.
Now, you could theoretically try to go there. Just, the same way you
Yeah.
transported yourself to the castle. Uh,
The
but
problem
you
is
know how that
if I
worked
do
last
that
time.
if I do that on my own again and it still doesn't work, then I can't blame it on everybody else. So I'm going to stick to doing that in a group setting so that if it
Mhm.
does work, I have overcome incompetence. And if it doesn't work, I simply haven't. I'm going to have to do it, I think. Okay, well, I'm going to go get Sayo first because at least I know where that is and it's relatively close.
Yeah, you do think that Sayo is someone you could reach. You know, I mean, it depends on how you're traveling. If you're just gonna walk there, like within several hours. If you want to talk to someone else, you could go get a
No,
horse
I'll
or a
walk there.
carriage or something. But no, you're just gonna walk.
Absolutely.
All right. So since you are taking off walking to see Sayo, we are going to go back and see what Sayo is up to. So we will leave you walking along the way and go back to see as Sayo is making their way outside of this tent to try and find out where you are, how you got here, how to get back. I'm assuming kind of main questions on your mind right now. Oh, I think you're muted.
There we go.
Mhm.
The noise and crowd is so overwhelming that we're just dealing with that. We'll figure out. We're not even thinking about questions of what happened, what to do about it, until we can be less overstimulated.
Yeah, until you can think again.
Exactly.
Um, yeah, you make your way along the edge of the wall very carefully, still bumping into some people, obviously, as you do in a very crowded space like this, until you get outside. And it seems like there are other people out here who've had the same idea because there's lots of groups of people just standing around. You can't really hear yourself talk. Like it's very hard to engage in conversation in the midst of a party like that. And it seems like there are people who just genuinely wanted to have a conversation, get caught up, and those people have come outside, including, as you were informed by the child you talked to, the people who appear to be the bride and groom, which you can ascertain by the way that they are dressed.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't immediately recognize them upon looking at them. You
Mm-hmm.
don't, and you as you look around, you don't entirely know where you are. But it is much, much quieter, and you can
Mm-hmm.
hear little snippets of conversation. What sounds like people who are just catching up, who maybe haven't seen each other in a long time, who are using this as an opportunity to get the latest news about each other.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, now that you can think,
Yeah.
what is going on for Sayo?
Uh, Sayo can think and is immediately like, not thinking was better. Actually, this sucks. Um, uh, I think they're gonna look around and look for like this is not the sort of type of wedding that they've been to, but they've been at like planned events before. So they're looking for staff of some kind, like an event planner, wedding planner, caterer, venue manager, something. Someone who knows what's going on but like isn't super attached to the
Yeah.
party.
Out here, you don't see anyone like that.
Okay.
Out here seems to be guest, family, friends.
The couple of the hour, are they like doing something? Are they doing a task, taking pictures or the equivalent, or are they just also hanging out with family out here?
It looks like it's kind of maybe like a mix, like they're mostly hanging out with family. You do
Mhm.
see, the equivalent is like someone drawing a picture.
Mhm.
You see that there is someone kind of like doing a sketch of a moment that maybe already happened or already passed.
Okay. Okay. Um, I think I'm gonna go up to that person just because, like, they may not know, but they might be able to point me in the direction of someone.
Yeah, that is the
Um,
closest to like a staff. Again, it doesn't look like they probably
right.
work
Yes.
maybe
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
this event center, if you're gonna call it
Right. But
that.
they were
But
hired for wedding,
yeah,
maybe. Okay. Um, so I was gonna walk up and just kind of watch them do their little drawing for a little bit. Um, it's not something that's currently happening. They're not trying, like, people aren't posing for this right
no,
now. Okay.
not right now.
So when it looks like they're, I don't know, switching paints where I wouldn't like distract them too much, um, I I'm gonna go, that's beautiful.
Ah, thank you so much.
I I hate to ask this of I'm sorry, everyone's having such a good time, but I seem to be a little bit turned around. Do you know where I could find the wedding planner or event organizer? I have a question that I think they could help me with.
Oh, uh, sorry, no, I don't know exactly. The
Do you know
last
who
I saw them
the
was inside.
Do you know who the wedding planner? I wasn't paying attention earlier. Do you know who the wedding planner is?
Oh, um, yes, I've worked with him before. I only once. Uh, can't quite remember his last name at the moment, but so I'm not sure how helpful this will be. Um,
What's he wearing today, just so I can pull him out of a crowd?
probably more helpful. I was going to say I don't know that the name is going
Yeah.
to get you anything if you're looking for just a man named Isaac. Um,
Okay. Good
yeah,
to know his name.
currently, when I saw him earlier, just he's not really wearing anything distinctive. Just a dress shirt, jacket,
Okay.
black pants. Yeah, it's like the most generic
Yeah, he's
wedding
dressed
goer
like a
outfit.
wedding guest.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah, yeah.
um.
Yeah, you kind of see like the person who was doing the painting is kind of trying to
Mhm.
like rack their mind and think like, yeah, he doesn't really. He's just a
No
white guy
worries.
with brown hair. It's not really super distinctive.
I mean, goes with the job, I guess.
Yeah,
Um.
he's not really here to be noticed.
Yeah,
Is
definitely.
something wrong? I mean, yeah, usually you only look for the wedding planner when something's not going according to plan.
No, 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 no. The wedding is beautiful, obviously. And they like gesture to the painting that they're doing. Um, and goes, I've just I lost track of time, I think, and I need to head back. But I lost. I'm all turned around. Don't worry about me. I will be okay. And is trying to clock if they're going to keep thinking about this interaction before they turn away.
Um, it seems like they are trying to come up with something that would be more helpful to you, like a
Mhm.
more helpful detail. And they're just kind of like, ah, yeah, I'm trying to think if anyone else here would be able to answer that, or no, I can't. I mean, yeah, the wedding planner would be your best bet, probably.
Can you point me in the direction of sort of where the road is? It's so loud inside. I can barely tell which way is up.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. It is much quieter out here. If you're looking like the road back into town,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, the road back into town is just going to be it is, I think, by this point, like, still light out. It's
Mhm,
not again, it was, like, late afternoon, so it's not dark
mhm.
yet. Um, as you can see as they point, it's really not that far away.
Okay.
The road back into town, it's kinda, like, over there.
Yeah. Okay. Um, Sayo is not going to go on faith that this is the road back into the town that they're looking for, but it does help that there is one.
A-town, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I think they're going to go back not inside. Jesus Christ. They're going to go stand in the doorway. And I don't know if this is a fair use uh figure out a person, but is going to look through the crowd and try and figure out who is like not there to just dance and eat, basically.
Yeah.
Who
I
is
mean, I
like
think
who is like kind of keeping this a
mhm.
similar eye that they are of like the whole situation.
Yeah, I think last time you used some of your dream mirror stuff on
Mhm.
a group. So I'm gonna say that sure, you can do that. And
Okay.
depending on how you roll, yeah, I can do a version of like what are your feelings toward
Yes, yeah. I also
this
have
event?
yeah, the dream mirror equivalent for this is when you observe someone for a short time, you may ask one. Um, but like those questions seem a little bit less
That's
specific.
useful.
We'll figure out one of the questions.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's a 9 + 2, 11.
Hey.
Um,
So yeah, ask two. Now we're later in the scene. And so yeah,
um,
one is apparently kind of like a what are your feelings toward this event? Like
yeah.
again, are you here as a
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll
guest or
do.
staff?
Yeah, I think that's the sort of overarching
Mhm.
question is what what are your feelings towards this event in the sense of like what's your stake here?
Mhm.
And then I think the other one will also be from this same list, which is how could I get you to um I'm gonna keep it broad for now. Help me
Mm,
because depending on how far I am from home, I'm gonna need like different kinds of
mhm.
help.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, you look around and you pretty quickly pick up there are some people who look like they are doing catering,
Mhm.
providing food service,
Yeah.
might be able to help. Um, you also see what looks like one person who is kind of just like more on the outskirts, like observing. It looks like they might be like the head caterer because it looks like a couple of the people who are doing catering
Mhm.
or like kind of slowly starting to like clean as you go, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Like taking some food off of some tables and things like that are going up and talking to this person. Um, but you don't you're looking like through a pretty big crowd and just picking out really the people who are like doing something notably different than everyone
Mhm.
else. So there's not like a name badge on this person where you're
Right. Yeah.
easily
Yeah.
able to tell like exactly what their
I
job is. Yeah. And then the how can I get you to help me
I'm gonna hold that one until I like
is
talk to someone.
when
I
you're
think.
talking to them. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So if the highest sort of ranking
Yeah.
person is the head caterer, I'm gonna go up to them.
Okay.
Do they match the description that I got from the painter, or do they look different?
Um, they look
Oh, I mean, it was
you
a pretty generic
yeah,
description, but
yeah. Um, they look like they have like darker skin than what you were expecting from just like
Mhm.
generic white
Yeah,
guy with brown hair.
Yeah,
as you think this might not be the same person.
Okay. Uh, so Sayo is not dressed for a wedding. They're wearing like distressed jeans. So or maybe sweatpants. I don't remember what we were wearing last time. In
No,
any
I
case,
think it was actually like, yeah, like your clothes that you'd slept in is what
yeah,
you
because
were
I like
wearing.
rolled out of bed and was like, "Fuck this! I'm not dressing up to find Ace." And now here we are. So yeah, it's like sweatpants and like maybe a button-down shirt, but it was definitely a button-down shirt that they did sleep in. So
Yeah.
we're trying. So they're just like force of charisma.
Mhm.
This is normal. Nobody
Mhm.
look at me.
Yeah. Don't pay attention to this.
Is gonna go up to the head caterer and kind of flip to a little bit more demure, to be like, I am in need of assistance, because I clearly don't belong. Um, uh, are they paying attention to anything in particular, or just kind of watching the room?
People are coming up and talking to him, and just giving
Okay.
kind of directions and information of like, kind of, okay,
Yeah.
put that there, put that here.
Okay.
Uh, but other than that, just watching the room.
Okay. So I was gonna go up to them. Fuck this room. And go. Hi. I'm so sorry. I'm looking for Isaac. I don't mean to be in your way. Just if you could.
I think that I think you're gonna get a little bit lucky here in like the noise and the
Mhm.
busyness. That this guy does not take that much notice of how out of place you look, and
Cool.
kind of just treats you like everyone else.
Great.
And so, oh yeah, in the back.
Cool. Thank you. And is gonna go in whatever direction they pointed in.
Yep. Yep. Um, as you are going to make your way, it's basically you're starting to get kind of a lay of the land,
Mhm.
despite how loud and busy and chaotic it is. That
The thing is, it's very overwhelming, but Sayo is kind of eavesdropping into conversations just to see if people are like mentioning shit that they recognize to be like, oh, this is nearby. Or it's like, oh, these are towns I've never heard of.
Yeah. As you listen in, you do hear familiar
Okay.
sounding names and
Mark.
familiar sounding places.
Okay.
So that's good. And you
Um,
start to make your way back to where you've been directed.
mhm,
But you've come back inside and you have to kind of skirt past the dance floor
mhm.
again. And you're quite noticeable as someone who stands out.
Yep,
So you don't find her, but she finds you,
absolutely.
the little girl who you'd been talking
Mhm,
to earlier, before you reach where you're going.
mhm,
I think what happens is you're walking through the crowd and you feel something like tug at your shirt,
mhm.
which might not be that unusual because you're in a crowded place. Do you think on the initial tug you turn around or you keep walking?
Um, I think because they're keeping an ear out, both like a real ear out and also sort of doing surface level dreams of the people around them. They notice before she even gets up to them.
Mhm.
Um, so she waits for them to tug just to she's not going to initiate this, but once they do, yeah, she'll look down.
You look down, you see the same kid from before just looking up at you. Did you do whatever you had to go do?
Not yet, but so I was gonna weigh how important it is that they go home. More important is to get out of this room. Um, they don't want to disappoint this kid, but oh my god, their skull is going to explode. So he's going to sort of take that knee again, next to the kid and go, "Not yet. We're still figuring it out." What? It's like the sun hasn't set yet. You said because like
No, it's
no
still
time has
light out. Yeah,
passed
yeah,
since when we came.
yeah.
Um, Sayo is hoping that this kid's parents is going to take her home soon so she doesn't like just keep looking for them for the rest of the night. But that's all we have to go on. Also, I was wrong before. I was using one shot rules. We're in campaign rules, so I would get an insight, but not an advancement, so it doesn't apply. Dream mirror things. Sorry. Uh, is going to kneel down and go, not yet. We're still working on it. And is going to do that like sort of furtive, you're in on this like secret plan with
Uh-huh.
me. And like, maybe try to entice, just so that like the kid feels like they have gotten what they want out of this interaction, even though I'm not going to dance with them.
Yeah.
If you're cool with that. Okay.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Oh, let's see. That is worth. Oh no, but I forgot I have a +3 to heart now. 9.
Okay. Absolutely. So you get a wait. I think on a 9,
It's still mixed.
it's mixed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
Um,
can
I gain a string unless
gain a
they decide
string.
to choose one.
Yeah. I think on this you're just gonna get a string.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know that the kid is going to
Want
promise
me?
you anything.
Yes.
I think in fact what the kid is gonna, you're kind of bringing her into this secret.
Yes.
I think she's gonna look at you and go, "Can I help? Is there anything I can do?"
Saya is going to reference something that will definitely happen tonight. Like, if you is going to make we're going to make up a cosmology right now. Sorry. Is going to reference like if you see the whatever our equivalent of like Sirius is, like the first star. If you see that one, if you see that star in this direction, and like because Saya went outside, they are like cardinally oriented, hopefully.
Yeah.
And is going to point in whatever direction that star shows up. If you see that star before all the others, it means I've succeeded. Keep an eye out, but it won't be for a little while.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll keep looking then. I hope that you succeed whatever you're doing.
Are they? Do they still have the little dried flower on it?
Yeah.
Sayo's going to not take it, but like hold like their hand as they're holding it, sort of cupped around it, and go, as long as you're holding on to this, I think you will help me.
Okay. I'll keep holding it all night.
Okay. And then Sayo's gonna like stand up, wink, and try and find the wedding planner.
Get out. Yeah. Yeah. You go into the back. It's quieter back there. You find the person who looks to be the one who's in charge. And I'm assuming you're looking for information about like how to get home.
Yeah, Sayo is going to. This isn't like a very magical, like nobody has seemed magical that I've run into so far, but also because we're close to home, it's like maybe a little bit of miracle that I haven't been like just recognized. I'm not the most recognizable face, but I like do hang out in the wrong crowds to not be recognized at all. So I think Sayo is going to do the like Marilyn Monroe thing of like turning it on, which I hate doing, but is going to be like, I am clearly in the wrong place and I need you to help me.
Yeah. You do, that is backed up by the fact that you look like you're in the wrong place.
I'm wearing sweatpants, and the sweatpants are more expensive than the like bride's dress. This is insane.
Yeah, you don't belong here. So whatever information you are looking for to get yourself out of here, you get you learn that you are indeed just on the outskirts of town, and you learn the path back. And that's going to be helpful because someone is moving toward you and you are moving toward them, assuming that Sayo leaves to head back.
Yes, yeah. Sayo will go through their arm to be like, I have caused a ruckus today, and I don't want like this is not their scene, but it's not these people's fault that it's not their scene. So is gonna try and find like a wedding present of some kind in their arm. Who the fuck knows what they're carrying? I think they just find a piece of jewelry that they were holding on to because it was like one of a matched set and they lost one. So they were like, well, maybe if I find it, this will be useful. So it's of no use to them. It is like the stone is so fucking big. It is obscene. So like it's a good gift, but to them it was like trash because Sayo is too rich to function. It's fine. So right before they leave, they're going to hand it to. Did they catch a name or the names of the married couple as they were making their way through the crowd?
You haven't yet. No.
Okay.
Not with like certainty. Like you've heard names repeated, but like not enough to be like, I am positive it's these people.
Okay. I we're just not going to drop a name, is going to hand it to Isaac, to the wedding planner,
Mhm.
and go, if I've caused any offensive disruption, I do apologize. Make sure this gets to them, and I hope the rest of your night goes smoothly, and then books it.
Yeah. I think when you hand it to him, his eyes like go wide at again how big of a stone it is and how expensive this is. And then he like goes to say thank you, but I think in normal like Sayo fashion, you're already gone.
Yeah, they turned it off, so I am now just part of the crowd again.
And you head out. And we're going to go and pull everybody back in for a moment because I don't have screens for just two of you. And pull both of you back in to see what happens when this is gonna be a good hour or so later. So for Faifala and for Callie, you're gonna have a bit of time by yourselves. As Heck and Sayo are going to meet up on the road.
Sayo doesn't usually walk this much. They don't. It's not that they don't walk. It's just that they don't go anywhere. So they're not tired. They're just bored.
Honestly, same. Totally get it. It's not that it's a problem to walk. It's
Mhm.
just that like
Anything else
why
would be
are we
better.
doing this? Why
Anything else would
bother?
be better. Yeah. Is there anyone else on the road other than the two of us when we eventually bump into each other?
There have been people like on the road, maybe not
Mhm.
at first like Sayo where you were, because you were a little bit more removed, it was more
Mhm.
empty.
Mhm.
Since you've come into town, you've just been like, well, this is the path through town back to the castle.
Yep.
And you've like passed people on the road. It hasn't been empty or abandoned. But I think if it's been about an hour, it's starting to get toward like dinner time by the time
Sure.
that you meet up, so there's not as many people
Mhm.
actively out on the road right now.
Okay. Okay. Where are we when we run into each other?
Just in a street. I think it's
Great.
one of
Okay.
those like you're walking and the roads here are kind of turny at some places,
Mhm.
so I think it's like a you turn a corner, kind of like you did with the guards when you ran into the
Yes.
guards last time. Like you turn a corner, it's like, oh, you, I know you.
Oh, it worked. Yes. All
That
right.
was
Well,
that was it working? What
that
happened?
proves it. Oh no. You all messed something up, but I'm fixing it. I got directions and it worked. And if the directions worked and are accurate, then that means that when when I'm doing it, it works as long as nobody else is bothering me. Right?
Sayo's just gonna try and follow your logic and go, but if we're trying to find people, wouldn't we then be messing if you say it works? Where is you found me, so where is everyone else?
Well, I found one other one. The one with the pet is north of the city,
Yep.
far, and it would be better to get a cart or a horse or something. But I didn't want to talk to whoever is responsible for giving those out, so
Yeah, I'll go
I
get
came
one.
to you first.
Yep, that makes sense. Uh how far? So I was trying to gauge like what level of transportation we need.
I walked from the castle to meet you, and I didn't want to walk as far as they were.
How far are we from the castle then? So I was gonna like start walking in the direction of wherever like the normal stables and carriage house is. And is just going to ask someone to give them something, which is how they normally get stuff. So
Hmm, normally works. I do
yeah.
think again because it's been about an hour. You each walked about an hour, so
Mhm.
wherever you were was about 2 hours away. So now if you're gonna go back,
Damn.
you're gonna go back an hour.
Oh, this is a good point. Okay. Maybe we just need to buy one from something around here. Do we need to go back to get to where Callie is?
Callie
I don't
was
think we don't need to go to the castle, but we have to
No,
go
no,
in
but
that
is it, like, in
direction.
that direction? So, like, would we
Yeah.
have to be going in that direction anyway? Okay. Is there like the equivalent of just like a city watch or something?
Yeah. Yeah, you could find like just people whose job it is to patrol and
Recognize.
keep an eye on things.
Yeah, hopefully someone who recognizes me and will let me commandeer like a horse, or if they have one, a carriage. Although I doubt it.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm gonna say you don't find a carriage,
Yeah.
but if you're trying to commandeer a horse, I think with your level of
Mhm.
authority that you carry, you would be able to do that.
Okay. Yeah. I like don't explain it at all. Just like, hi, I need that.
Oh, uh,
It's
you
an emergency. You will get it back, probably.
I think like you get kind of like looked up and down, and that like ray of like they're coming to recognize again. You're
Mhm.
pretty identifiable, right? Like we said, glass arms.
Yeah.
You're
Like
pretty hard to
reflective
miss.
in the sunset.
Pretty hard to miss for anyone who knows who you
Mhm.
are. Um, so I think there's a kind of like, oh, yeah, yes, absolutely. It would be a privilege to aid you in your
Cool. Sayo
emergency.
immediately turns away from this to Heck and goes, "Do you know how to ride a horse?"
Absolutely not.
Cool. I guess just the one will
Well,
do. Hang on to me, I guess. The horse will do most of the work. Don't worry about it.
while we're already down here, I feel that I should try again to locate the other two, just to make sure that it's not silly of us to go after the one that I did find and then discover that the other two were actually just down here near you.
Oh, okay. So I was gonna kind of like dismiss the guards and go, I'll return it to the central stables when we're done with it and just like wave them off, shoo. Um, and goes, okay,
I
what is
haven't looked
that?
for Ace because I didn't want to babysit him, but I feel I should.
He needs a leash. Yeah, do you need help? I don't.
No, just give me a minute.
Okay. Sayo is going to sit on the horse like it is bed, just like lie down. They're making it look comfortable, but it is weird.
All right, what is Heck doing?
Doing the same thing. I'm just handing out strings to dangerous otherworldly forces left
Surely
and
that will
right.
be fine. That's not gonna have
That
any
won't have any
consequences.
It's
consequences. I
fine.
don't have a
Listen,
list of
I
that.
will say nothing bad has ever happened to me as far as I know. Oh, it's always been fine. Heck, just covered in bruises and scratches and filthy clothes,
Yeah,
raggedly breathing, and bloodshot eyes. I'm fine.
yeah. Spoken like someone with 5 conditions.
Oh right, still nothing.
Still. Oh yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
Uh, let's get these out of here. We're gonna use two other ones to give these ones a break. Thank you to only crits. Who's that?
Overexposed.
It's a 6 and a 4. It's not the glare
Whoa.
is there we
Oh,
go.
there it is. Yeah, yeah, we got it.
So
Nice, nice,
it's a
What's it
10
after
plus
this?
2, so it's a 12.
Insane.
nice. Okay. Well then, yeah, a dangerous unseen takes a string on you, but you can choose 2 because you rolled over a 10.
Yes. I'd like to know where the others are. I'll ask about Fifala first, and then after that, with a growing sense of dread, I'll ask where Ace is.
Okay. You ask about Fifala first, and you pull up. And where are you doing this? Like, just
I think probably
alleyway?
like walked like 10, 15 feet off the road just to
Hmm,
not be in like the middle of it.
yeah.
Yeah. Sayo will sort of line up the horse so that you're not super visible from the street. They're not totally sure what this entails, but I think they've seen you do it before or something similar. So
Yeah, I'm certain Heck has never explained it.
Sayo doesn't
But
ask.
yeah. Every now and then, heck just does things.
Yep.
And again, it's always fine. It always works out fine. Um, and so, yeah, you are. I'm gonna say like the shadow puppet y shadows appear on just a wall, a brick wall of the building that you're near, and start to show you the outline of Faifala with another larger, taller person standing next to them. And as more clarity and more features come into the image, you see Faifala walking along a path next to a person you don't recognize who shares some features in common with them. And then it pulls out to give you that map that you got earlier. And it pulls out, and it pulls out, pulls out a little further. And you realize that Faifala is days away from you, even with the horse. This is a far journey to get to her.
Heck like leans back against the wall. Fuck. Did you know there's somebody bigger than Faifala?
I guess theoretically.
No, like literally. In real life.
Did you find him?
Yes.
That doesn't sound
Well,
promising.
the good news is the horse wasn't a mistake to get.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask where Ace is. Where's Ace?
You see an image, and it looks like Ace is actually right at the time where you check. Just now waking up because you didn't know what Faifala did, but Faifala gave Ace something that made them
Sedative.
tired and yeah.
Yep.
You gave your friend sleepy time drugs at the end of the
Mhm.
last session, and that's now working out great for you because they've been asleep this entire time. So that's what happens,
Stay
and
put. Don't go
are
anywhere.
just now starting to wake up. And so you see that shadowy image of someone like stretching and moving, and the image becomes clearer as you see Ace, their fiery red hair, and they appear, interestingly enough, heck, to be on a rooftop somewhere, which might be a really good place for them because they might not know how to get down, but might
Yeah,
be
but they'll try anyway. Is the problem.
might be really dangerous for them. It looks like they are, as the again pulls out to the map, they are just like a town over from where you are. So, in order, basically, Callie is technically the closest, then Ace, and then Faifala by far is the farthest away.
Are Callie and Ace in the same direction, or is Callie just the closest, but
We
it's
talk-
more important to get Ace because of the time limit, so like we should go east instead of north?
I'll say Callie and Ace are in like the same direction because it's your guys' town. Then there's sort of the mountain-ish range. Like mountain is too tall of a word for it, like
Mhm.
hills. And Callie seems to be kind of there, and then Ace is just the next town over.
Okay.
We can always just.
I'll draw just like a crude it's I hesitate to call it a map even. It's going to be like a circle and it
Yeah.
says us and then a line up to where Cali is and like a couple of like pine trees because they're just triangles with a line on the bottom.
Sure.
And Cali and then like another line up to another town and then Ace on roof and hand that to Sayo. I'll be like, I think I have to go and get Faifala.
Okay.
Just there's no time.
Do you need the horse or?
No, that's not helpful. I'm gonna do the thing again, and it's going to work because Ace isn't here.
Jesus. Okay. Good luck, I guess.
Yep, you too. Oh, actually, and I reach into my cloak and I pull out just like panties and hand them over. This is how I
Keep them.
found you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Keep them. Uh, and Sayo sort of turns away on the horse before looking. No, you don't need. Okay. And then just doesn't say anything and heads off in whatever our crude little map is. And as they are riding away, they do like thumb their waistband to be like, "What was I wearing?"
Okay. We are going to go, since you're heading off in some different directions, to check in on Fifala and what you have been doing.
Um, it's been a pretty quiet walk with my sibling. Obviously they're leading the way and I am following like a lost child who's kicking a rock. Um, everything is like starting to very slowly come back to me. But I feel a sense of dread that a lot of things aren't coming back to me as fast and I'm not remembering where I was raised. Um, and then once we do get to the like market celebration that everyone's having, I think I just kind of turn to my sibling and I'm like, okay, you can leave if you want. I don't want to hold you here. Um, I I'm afraid that we'll just explode at each other if we stay around each other for too long. We're two very hot-headed people. So,
I'll be around. And they just sort of walk off to they're gonna stay here, but they're not gonna stay near you. That's what it
yeah.
seems like.
And then I'm gonna see if I can find some village elders.
Okay. I will also say, just to add to your description of your walk, it's not only is it not coming back to you quite as quickly as you'd like, but it's also the realization when you're in a place that is familiar, but you haven't been there in 4 years, things change, right? Trees are
Yeah.
taller. Certain places where you're like, oh, there was a tree there, but it's not there anymore. Um, that's different, right? Even as you like come into the town, it's um, something is there's things planted where there weren't things planted. There are, buildings and structures where there weren't buildings and structures. Not a lot. It's not drastically different. And I feel like that almost makes it worse than just like subtle differences where you can't
Yeah.
entirely even, or you're like, wait, was that there before? Am I just
Yeah.
misremembering? That could have been there, but I don't think it was. And that is kind of messing with your memory a little bit
Yeah.
as you walk back. It seems like this is just not necessarily any like there's not a holiday happening today. Might be a birthday that you don't know about, or you don't have the birthday of everyone here memorized, certainly not after 4 years.
Yeah.
But it kind of looks like maybe it was just like a really nice day and some kids started playing and someone started playing music and people have just been hanging out and having a really good time.
There's a twinge of jealousy as that sort of like realization comes through because that isn't something that happens in the capital. Like living in a city as small as mine and being next to the ocean and being with family this close, there's a sense of slowness to everything. And this is just the epitome of that. And I don't realize that I miss it until I see it.
Yeah. And you're looking around for the village elders. You're not looking for your family specifically. You're looking for just
I mean, my parents are part of the village
okay.
elders,
Okay.
but if I could avoid them,
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I was at. I
I
was like, are you
would.
looking for your parents or are you just looking for other
Yeah, I'm trying to sneak on by,
okay. Okay.
though it's kind of difficult,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Hmm. Um yeah, I will say based on how you have, you know, you've kind of entered from the path that you walked down, so you're kind of taking in this full scene that you can see a couple of people that you recognize, including you do see your parents, but similar to when you saw your sibling, it's the same thing where like you see them but they don't see you yet. So you can, yeah.
I think I want to like I'm really gonna like stretch my luck here, and I kind of just like want to come like my head down, and I'm just like tapping on one of the elders to talk in a different space because they commune and they circle up and talk a lot and for a long time. So I want to tap on someone that isn't my parents, while keeping my like at least my neck and my head like down. Like,
Down.
can we talk?
Which again is
Sort of thing.
hard. You are you're not quite as big as your sibling, but
Yeah,
a big person. You
yeah,
take up a lot of space.
I do.
Um, so you're trying your best to keep yourself hidden, and I don't think that unless there's a move from your playbook that you're using, I don't think there's anything that applies here. Um, I think this is just pure luck, um, and pure. I'm gonna be nice and say that you get someone's attention and you kind of like do a little like come over, come this way gesture.
Yeah,
Um, and I think the fact that you look a little bit different and you look like you're trying to be kind of obscured
yeah.
means that you're not immediately recognized, and so this person is going to go with you.
Sweet.
You're gonna walk a little ways away from the crowd.
Mhm. There you go. Um, okay. Here he comes. Hey. Okay.
Everyone say hi to Polka Dot.
Yeah, hi. You being so good? No? Okay. So I like bring myself like fully back up and make direct eye contact with them, and I say, please don't tell them that I'm here. It's been a little too long since I've been gone, and I would appreciate it.
When did you get back? It's
Uh, yeah, not long ago. I
like
was transported here um by a friend, colleague, person who lives at the castle with me. Um, so I mean this in a very objective and not hurtful way. I was accidentally put here. You didn't take that how I wanted you to. Shoot. I'm sorry. Yeah.
no, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to understand the situation. You're
Yeah. I
you're
am
not
an
here to
attendant.
visit.
No, I'm not.
You're just transported. How?
Yeah. Magic. There's many more magic people at the capital.
Oh, no,
Um,
that's yeah, yes, of course there is. That's totally fine. Uh, that's something you do. You have there. We have no problem with magic here, obviously.
yeah. 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 So I know that there has been some elders that sometimes do magic, and I need to get back to the capital like now. I'm an attendant for royalty, and they were on my back and then they weren't.
Oh yes, no, your parents have told us all about your job at the castle. Well, everything that they know from the letters that you sent. That you're an attendant. I thought you were cook,
I
chef.
Yeah, I also do like cooking stuff, but I do stuff with the with royalty as well,
Oh,
and make a lot of cheeseburgers, but gonna figure that out when I get back. Anyways, yeah. So I know my parents aren't magically inclined, but I was hoping I could get in contact with one of them that is. And maybe
Oh.
not present in the square, if possible.
Ooh. I'm not sure who is not currently here. I can certainly look around, but I mean, while you're here, why don't you don't want to talk to your parents? You don't want to stay for a while.
Yeah. Uh, yes and no, because I haven't been here for 4 years and I feel like shit. I feel like I've been a bad kid and a bad sibling, and I don't know what the fuck is going on. And um, I would rather come back on my own terms so that I'm not frozen like I feel right now.
I understand. You
Yeah.
want time
Yeah.
and maybe more space to think.
Yes.
Well, just remember that guilt can motivate things to be different. Shame can only keep you stuck, and there's no use shaming yourself for things you haven't done that have already happened. If it's happened, then it's happened. Maybe you can let the past be in the past and be different in the future.
That is what I've already told Tui, who walked me here.
Oh,
Uh,
well, good. I'm glad. We would love to have you back to visit more often, intentionally, next time.
yeah. Yeah. Um, I will. It's gonna sound weird. I'll be lurking in the shadows, kind of over there in the alley. Just like give a wave if you find the magically inclined elder. I would greatly appreciate it. And then I slink back down and kind of walk away.
Walk away. Yeah, yeah. Well, as you walk away, we will return to you in a moment. And for now, we will go back to Callie. You were left opening a door, leading you down somewhere very bright, oddly bright, since you kind of thought you were in a basement and you were going deeper into the basement. As you open the door, however, and look down into the space below you, um, there is, I think these like doors you realize like do kind of it's the kind of thing where you pull on it and the ladder comes down. It's just you push on it, a ladder like extends from it, going down into the room below. You are in a room of no windows and only walls. And below you is a room of only windows, pretty much, and very, very little wall space. And as you climb down the ladder very carefully into the room below you, you realize that you are definitely not in a basement. You are in some sort of structure that has to be magic. Because again, room of mostly glass, room of mostly stone. The physics there does not compute because this room should be squished. Like this room is not passing like structural tests. There's no like big steel beam in the middle holding up the room above it. So you're immediately like, there's magic here. And from looking out of the windows, you also realize that you are pretty high up. You were just on a rooftop with Heck very recently, and it was a single story roof, and it was not the most comfortable experience. And Heck was pointing at some other buildings and was like, I want to go up there. And you were like, I don't. You're taller than that now. You are not on a roof, you are indoors. But indoors, you're surrounded by glass. Um, kind of. Um, because yeah, you can look out and see below you what seems to be the ruins of an old town. And you are in a very tall building at the edge of an old town.
Ah, so that bright light's gonna take a minute to get used to. Um, for some reason, I'm imagining a glass floor. That might not make sense though, but there's a lot of glass. Looking down, it's a long way down. Um, and yeah, that's just processing, like nothing really being logical, hence the magic. Um, and I think what I'm gonna do um, is now that Callie has like uh they aren't familiar with this town necessarily, but they're like, okay, I'm not below ground, I'm above ground. But Charmander had gone in a different direction, um, which they had maybe imagined would be like going up and out a window to get help or something, but that's not the case. So up is potentially the wrong direction to go in now, but Charmander's exploring another spot. So I am going to, um, I think I roll to use my familiar to like see through their eyes
Yeah,
and
to
stuff.
see through their eyes. Yeah,
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna do that. Let's see what Charmander's up to.
yeah.
I don't know if I see anything.
Oh,
So I got a 5.
oh. um. Yeah. You're using
Let's
uh
see.
what's the
Using
name of the
familiar.
move here? Familiar,
Familiar,
perceive.
so perceive the world through Charmander's senses whenever I want, and communicate with it at any distance. In addition, choose a base. Oh, I get to choose a basic move too. Um,
Yeah,
and the
actually, I don't
familiar
think you
helps.
need to roll for that, which is good if you rolled a 5. I think you can just
Good.
always perceive the world through his senses if you'd
Huh.
like. Um,
And then it would be so I'd be rolling with the basic move maybe.
um, I think that is different. That is an assistance that Charmander can give you on a basic move. Um, so yeah, I think that you are good there to just see the world, see what Charmander's seeing. I think it's the kind of thing where like the trade-off is you have to close your eyes, like you would not be able to see through your own senses for a minute, which in this case is totally fine because all you're seeing is very bright light and a sudden lot of sensory input when you've been in a nice dark quiet place. It's still quiet here, but it's just I don't know, maybe a little bit scary up here when you're like taking in all of this town and realizing just how high up you are. Um though as you close your eyes, that doesn't necessarily help anything, as it seems like wherever you are at the top, because Charmander is flying around in the open sky. It seems like he found rooftop access.
Gotcha. So maybe I'm seeing like Charmander flies out and then is like around outside the glass, and so I'm seeing myself from
Yeah,
outside
yeah.
of my body. um, cool. Well, Charmander finding a way out doesn't necessarily help me because I can't fly, and I don't think Charmander would be able to carry me because he's like
Tiny.
essentially cat size, even though he's like dragon hybrid but small. Um, so I'm also still left with a bit of the mystery from the carvings in the wall, and then this like abandoned place, which is somehow magically still structurally sound between the physics and also being so abandoned, and it hasn't really fallen apart, thankfully, because it's somehow at the top of it. Um, hmm. um, so how high up am I again? Like more than one story, but
Yes. You are taller than the tallest building that Heck had pointed out to you earlier. So you are very high. You don't have like
gotcha.
a count of how many stories up this is necessarily. Um, but like skyscraper building kind of tall.
Yeah. Okay. So do any of the windows open?
The windows in here. Um,
In that room.
yeah. Most of them are very again, like, they are it's not like the whole walls are made of, like, all glass, they are, like, distinct kind of, like, window panes, and, yeah, I think if you walk up to the wall of one of them, one of, like, the big ones, if you're trying to, like, open it and get, Charmander to come in.
Charmander.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like, it's not like, a way out, but I can at least, like, reconnect with Charmander a bit,
yeah,
um, and have that option.
yeah,
Um, since it's so high, like, they are not necessarily going to want to go down. Like, did they not have elevators? Okay. But they're just like, all these trapdoors all the way down. But then again, they're also like not enjoying the one that they're on right now because I think they don't like heights very much.
yeah.
Um,
I will say, as you open the
hmm,
window, what is possibly another option appears. Um, I know that we had our dragon moment earlier. I know there was something on your character sheet that is one of your nature witch things.
oh yeah,
As you look out the window, there are no dragons here. But there is a you see something kind of like flying towards you. Um, with wings that is probably of interest to Callie. And as it gets closer and closer, you realize just how big this thing is. It's just a bird, like seagull looking bird, except it's just like it's big enough that you could catch a ride from this if you wanted to call it over, since you can talk to all animals.
gotcha. Um, yeah, so Callie's going to go over to the window. Um, I don't know if Charmander like befriended the bird and let it back or whatever, but hey, there's something alive. That's what is a step in the right
Yeah,
direction
yeah. All
with
the
this
alive is
abandoned place.
outside. There's nothing alive in
Yeah,
this
like
building.
how do I get to there? I want to go to there. So thank you, Charmander, if you brought a friend back.
Terminator is great at making
But yeah,
friends.
yeah. Um, exploring out there, seeing what's around. I don't know, reporting back. But yeah, Kelly's going to go to the window and definitely hold on to the window, even if they aren't right up against it, because they're going to be like, they don't want to be near the edge. It feels very exposed. But they are going to call out to their hopefully new friend, the bird creature.
What are you calling out?
Just like, hey, you.
Hello.
Ah, hello.
Hmm. It kind of in a squawky voice back at you. Hello.
Hi. Would you mind coming over here, please?
Okay. It flies closer to the window.
Hi. So I'm not exactly sure how I got here, but I I don't mean to be up here. Um, and I'm wondering if you know where I am.
Oh.
Like, what is this place?
Uh. Town.
Town,
Uh.
right?
Oh, old. Been here forever.
Have you ever seen any people here?
No. No people here.
Are there any other towns nearby?
That way. Points with a wing. There are
Yeah.
people there.
Okay. That is good to know. So Callie's like, all right, well, there's, the next place to go, civilization, meet some other people, get some more answers. Because as much as they can talk with plants and animals, like, there's only so much that they really know about the intricacies of all the navigation where how humans go about things. So like while they are curious, they're curious about the carvings, and they're curious about like the story of this town, but there's also potentially answers at the town next door. And also, they really don't want to be high up anymore. So they're going to move into. Do you think that you could help me get over there?
To the other town? Sure. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So they are quite anxious because the only real way to do this is to climb out the window very high. I mean, they could potentially go to the roof, but they didn't really think about that. So they're they're just like here to there to there. They'll think about that later, I'm sure, as they're questioning their life choices. So Faye's going to um, first. Charmander's gonna fly out, and then uh, they're going to kind of perch in the window and like let um, let their new friend kind of like move however it seems like they want where they want to be for this attempt. And then like uh climb on board.
Yeah, they're getting on a horse very
Yeah,
awkwardly.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said like slide out the window onto like the wing of this thing, and like crawl over to like get on where you can like wrap around a neck, and it starts to slowly at first, but eventually probably a faster pace than Callie is comfortable with, fly off over the trees in the direction of supposedly another town. And with that, we are going to go back to everyone, bring our whole group back, as it seems like we are headed for some collisions here. So, just to summarize the whole situation, we have Fifala waiting to find some kind of magic to help them get back where they're going. We have Callie riding a bird to meet them. We have Sayo riding a horse, going in vaguely the direction that Callie is, because that's also the direction that Ace is. And then we have Heck, who is going to be attempting some more magic. And I think we're gonna start with Heck, because you're the one who has to make a dice roll. And we're
Yeah,
gonna see how that goes.
bad, I assume, because it's harder than the other dice rolls. I don't. I get to add 0 to this one, so
Did you get to subtract something from this one too?
no, thankfully. But
Okay, okay.
I get to add 2 to the
Hmm.
other stuff, so I at least have kind of a buffer zone. With this one, I have to hit a 10 on 2d6, which I don't know if you know the odds of that, but it's not actually very high.
Oof. Okay.
Brutal. That's a 3 for our audio listeners. Go 1 and a 2.
Where does Heck want
Let me
to
down,
be
guys.
right now?
Want to be home. Trying to be where Fifala is.
Yeah. Oh, you're not going where Fifala is.
Okay.
On that roll. That's obvious. I think then you go home. You go where you want to go, not where you intend to go. And at this point you can't take any more conditions because you you have all of them. Um but I think what happens here is, yeah, you spin through the darkness of the unseen and you hear them laughing at you. Voices from the shadows. I think you hear one voice very, very close, like it's right in your ear, though there's nothing there, saying, "Oh dear, it was you all along. Always been you who's fucked everything up." And then you're in your living room. And you know it didn't work, and there's no one else here to blame. because it's just you.
What else is new? I think she just like hits the lights, goes and lays down for a little bit.
As we speak of the conditions that you have, I think the thing I'm gonna do here is kind of your the GM move. Um, is actually you can do that still, but I am going to spend a string because I have so many of them on you. Um, and in a way, this might wind up weirdly benefiting you. Because I'm going to try and entice you into trying to clear one of your conditions. But to clear them the unhealthy way. Um, because that is a thing you can do in this game is clear a condition by losing, yeah, by breaking something important to you, lose yourself in escapism, take rash action, run away, sacrifice something important. Um, so yeah, I think that the voices have stopped. Like you don't hear the laughter or anything anymore. But I think instead, everywhere you look in your room, the lights are off, so it's dark. There are plenty of shadows for the unseen to play with. You see all of these images of things you could be doing, ways that Heck loses herself in pleasure, in vice, in escapism. You see the different scenes of like you just kind of, again, that running away, leaving, ignoring everything, ignoring your responsibilities, which I guess you would kind of be doing if you just lay down and take a nap in the dark. Um, but it's not like you're explicitly being told what to do here. You're just thinking of all the different things that you maybe want to do to possibly, and I'll let you pick which condition and like which way you'd like to lash out. Um, and you get nothing. If you don't, you don't. If you do, you get XP.
I think more than anything, like it's sort of a it's sort of like when a toddler is very tired but insists that they don't need a nap. So like they just slowly become like angrier and angrier because they don't understand the effect that exhaustion is having on them because they're not clocking exhaustion the way that adults do. They don't recognize it yet. I think it's one of those things. Like Heck is not accustomed to working this hard to do something that she didn't want to do in the first place. The idea of somebody else assigning her a responsibility, and not just any responsibility, but a social responsibility, and not just a social responsibility, but a social responsibility surrounding somebody so important and so public. It's like, it's one thing when it's the little group of people that is always there doing this thing. It's another thing entirely when all of them disappear and suddenly it's down to just Heck. It's gonna be talking to guards and walking all up and down this kingdom and doing all this extra stuff. And this is the second day in a row. We found Ace. We found them. And then we're still not done. And it's just a matter of, all right, well, if everybody else is going to just do whatever it is they want to do, and everybody else, it doesn't matter what I say, doesn't matter what I do, everybody else has decided that this is my responsibility. Well, today I've decided that it's not. We'll try again tomorrow.
Okay.
It's just a fool pulling the blanket over the head and pushing those clothes under the bed and shutting the fridge door when you smell something bad, and just I'm just gonna do this later, not right now.
Okay. So Heck is just going to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, with Heck asleep, we only have two of you on the move at this point, which is Sayo and Callie, who I believe, come to another interesting kind of intersection because Sayo, you can't see Callie. You are riding. You take off riding by horseback. It is
I
gonna
think
get late. Hmm.
I think I do have to pass the castle to go in the
Yes,
direction that I was told,
you
right?
do.
I think
Yeah,
I
yeah.
am going to switch at the castle from the horse to the
Mm,
carriage because I
mm,
have several people to pick up
mm,
and I might need space for them.
mm.
And also, this is very uncomfortable and I want a padded chair to sit in. So it's just going to like hand off the horse and be like, "This is from the guard, return it," and then gets just takes a carriage
Yeah.
and is heading it and is going to try and look conspicuous, like try and have a pennant or a banner or something of
Mhm.
Ace, just so that it looks like this is official
Yeah,
business.
yeah. We're doing official things. I also
Hmm.
love, and it is
Everything is fine.
entirely canon that you just say this is from a guard with the horse
Hmm.
because you don't know the guard's name. You don't know the horse's name. This is from a guard. You give no further context or
Here's
information.
the thing: the guard knows who I am, so the horse will get back. I'm not worried about it.
It's someone else's responsibility, but the
Yeah.
horse will go where the horse goes. So the horse is dropped off, and you take off. And yeah, there's lots of animals in this kingdom that are all kinds of sizes. From where you are, like an unusually large shadow of a bird passes over you. By this point, it is probably night.
Hmm.
Going back to the castle, switching out to get the
Right.
carriage, heading out. But you also know you're on a little bit of a time crunch because Ace on roof, dangerous, and you need to get to the whole town over, you got to travel the
Oh
whole town.
yeah.
Um, but Callie, you are. How does Callie like travel by bird? Is this scary, exciting? What's the both? What's the vibe for Callie on bird travel?
I think that they will take a little bit of adjusting to the wind in their face. Um, and maybe they like drop their cane and Charmander gets it before it falls. So they're just like holding onto the bird. But then I think as terrifying as it is, I think they'll also kind of like it because um I don't know, not only are they like with a creature again with like uh, a bit more of a comfortable situation in that way, maybe offsetting the height a little bit because like they have uh, like their new friend that like can and will like support them so they don't feel necessarily in danger you know, logically I guess but it also just like feels really freeing too, especially like maybe they were up there. I don't know about the timing, but like they might have even gotten to watch the sunset from the sky. Like how cool is that? So I think they are still definitely holding on. um, their like hands or something will probably be sore later, but like they are also like enjoying elements of this for sure. And then um, yeah, I don't know. They are just kind of like I don't know if they would see Sayo, but like they
Yeah,
are their goal is to like make it to the next like human sort of thing. Or
yeah,
like get back to someone somewhere.
yeah. You definitely see the carriage, right? Like you see a carriage moving down below you, and you see the symbol of the castle. So you know, like whoever this is who's traveling is someone associated with Ace. You don't necessarily know automatically. You can't see into the castle to be like, oh, that's Sayo. But you know that this is something recognizable.
So um Callie is going to talk to their new friend and be like, "Hey, I think I see something down there moving. I think that's someone I want to talk to. Can we reroute? Can we land maybe on the path ahead of them, but like far enough that they could stop, sort of thing?"
Okay. And the bird starts to kind of like circle and go down. And Sayo, you see, I think like the shadow
Hmm.
starting to come down from out of the sky a little bit. And in the distance on your path, a very large bird. lands in front of you, so you have time to kind of like pull back the
Yeah.
reins. And is
So it's like,
Sayo like driving the carriage, or is there a guard doing that? I feel
I
like
was gonna ask if I don't think Sayo is driving the carriage. I think probably the assumption is when I ask for a carriage, someone will come with
you
it.
ask for a driver, yeah.
Right. So like if they're pulling to a stop, Sayo's gonna kind of climb forward to be like, what the fuck is happening?
I think the person driving just like points at the very
Oh.
large bird.
It's like dark. So I don't know
Speed
that
up.
Sayo can like actually make out what's happening, but
No.
big
Shape.
animal. I was looking for Callie. This is a big animal. Hopefully this is the sort of two and two together that that would make things easier. So Sayo's gonna kind of put a hand on the guard's shoulder and go, just give me a moment, and is going to like walk towards the bird.
Yeah.
Um, so once they land, Callie's going to kind of like slide off and realizes that they have like an iron grip on themselves, like around the bird's neck. So they just kind of like slide, like swinging almost. And they got little jelly legs, and they just like need a sec to like get oriented again. But they still like keep one hand on the bird to kind of steady themselves, and then Charmander kind of like makes a noise to like remind them, like he's right there and he's gonna do something, and kind of drops the cane, and so they have their cane again, and and then I feel like Charmander would just land on the bird because they like to do things that Callie does, so they're riding the bird now. But yeah, so Callie's like looking out at the carriage. I don't know if they could see Sayo's inside, but like
Sayo's
their
walking
their
towards
first
you.
thing that they're doing is okay, is the carriage stopping? That's number one.
Yeah, the carriage
Like
stops,
otherwise
yeah.
we're gonna get out. Okay, cool. Yeah, and then uh so as long as the carriage stops, then and they want to make sure to say they don't know if the bird's going to stick around, but they make sure to say thank you so much. And then did Sayo get out?
Yeah, Sayo got
Okay.
stopped the carriage, left it there, and is walking towards you.
Okay, cool. So Faye's definitely gonna feel relieved to be on the ground again and a familiar face. And so now they don't feel quite as lost, and they're like surrounded, I'm assuming, like trees and stuff around now. So yeah, so they're starting to feel better. Their legs are still a little like jelly, but they're definitely like they have more of an equilibrium going on. So yeah, I think they're just gonna like wave like they just passed each other at the market.
I think that will get Sayo to break because they haven't like thought about how absurd this is yet. And yeah, wild. Okay. But we'll look at you and go, you're okay?
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was in the market, and then I was
Yeah,
like,
apparently.
I don't know if you can see the skyscraper anymore, but they're just like, and then I was there.
Can I see it? Or are we too far?
No, you're too far. You don't see
Okay.
it.
Okay, well, I was somewhere over there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Callie's just pointing off in the distance, like I was that way. That happens a lot when you guys get directions in your day to day life. People are like, yeah, over there.
And then I was over there.
yeah, I think something went wrong. I ran into Heck. They said something happened. I don't know. I'm glad you're okay. We can talk in the carriage. We have to go find Ace.
Callie's gonna be like, yes, heck messed up a spell. Yep, that checks out. Like, okay, no more questions about the teleporting. I got it.
To be clear,
This is
Sayo did not say they messed it up, just that something got messed
no,
up.
but yeah,
But they
no,
were
neither did
playing it.
Callie. Neither did Callie, but they're just like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Okay, no more questions about the random
Yep.
location. At least for now. I mean, there's still like some like interest in the mystery, but they're just like, oh yeah. So now that like they know their next step is to get in the carriage and they're like ready to go do that, they are gonna check to see if the bird is still there. Like make sure that there's like proper thanks and their new friend is like knows that they helped a lot. Um, and then just kind of assumes Charmander will follow. Charmander does what Charmander wants, and
Of
then
course, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and then heads into the carriage and is excited to like sit down.
Yeah. I don't know what like instructions I gave the guard when we started, but we're going in a new direction now, kind of. Do I know what, based on the map and based on my knowledge of the area, do I know what town they might be in, or are we just pointing in like a direction?
You're assuming it's like the next town over based on
Okay.
the distance. The map you have is again
It's like
not a
6
map.
lanes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But just like the way that Heck was describing the distance of this place being
Okay.
very close would be
Mhm.
the next town.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. So I will climb onto the front at
Mm.
first to. They do not pull out the map. That feels more confusing. And goes. We're actually headed over the hills to the next town now. If we can. If we can.
Oh yeah, if they need help with directions, our new bird friend can help.
It's not directions so much as. God, I hope they haven't moved. Sile looks at you, Callie, and goes, "Are they coming?" And is like pointing at the bird.
I don't know. And then Callie, because Callie's inside the carriage now, so I think they're going to like peek out. I don't know if there's like a window or maybe they
yeah,
open the door.
yeah.
Not expecting the bird to get in, but like making eye contact or whatever. I'm just picturing like a giant pelican or something trying to get in. But they're like, hey, do you want to come with us?
I think what you see is like the bird had been kind of talking with Charmander, and Charmander sort of like flying circles around Charmander, new friend. Charmander's
Yeah.
very excited to have like new friend. Um, and I think like now that you've kind of gone, Charmander will go and follow you, and the bird just kind of gives you a look, and asks, "Where are you going?"
Yeah, and then Callie's gonna look to Sidewalk and be like, where are we going now? Literally just forgot.
Uh,
I have no
Ace,
idea what's going on.
Ace is in the next town, apparently, or they were the last time I was told. So we're going there to find them.
Okay. And then Callie is like the translator because they can talk to
Yeah,
animals and
I
everything.
have no idea.
So Callie passes that along and is like my friends and I got separated, but one of them's in the next town over, so we're gonna go that way.
Well, fly along with you for a bit.
And then I think Callie also likes that like Sayo was asking if like their animal friend was gonna come with. It feels like more accepting, like So Callie's going to. I don't know. I think Callie got their answer, and then they forget to relay it. And I think they're just gonna like close the door or window or whatever, and just sit back and like expect them to keep going.
So I will take that as like end of conversation because they have no idea what the bird is saying. And kind of gestures to the guard to get going as they climb back inside.
Yeah. The carriage takes off down the road as the bird takes off as well into the sky and follows overhead as you head over to the next town. We will see if there's any conversation or anything that happens within the carriage in a minute. As right now, we are going to transition back to The one of you who's still alone, and still alone far away. We know Heck's alone, but of their own volition. Heck wants to be alone right now, and I don't think is going to come out of wanting to be alone for a minute because you're asleep. So we are going back to Fifala, who is waiting from the shadows, watching. I think in that still kind of uncomfortable, jealous feeling because you're watching everyone laughing and partying as the sun is starting to go down, as it's starting to get darker. You realize that, like, again, this is a place where time moves as it moves. Things happen slower here. The elder did tell you that they were going to go look and bring someone back. You're remembering, like, oh yeah, that could be like hours worth of time that takes because they're probably going to get stopped and then have to talk to this person and have to help with this thing, and then maybe they forget for a couple minutes and then they go back to looking. Like, you're realizing this is not gonna be a like fast run and grab someone. You've been left here in the shadows for potentially a while.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to do something that is not what is popping into my brain right now. But um I would like to somehow draw um information out of myself that I don't necessarily remember.
Mhm.
And I don't know what to roll for that.
I don't know what to roll for that either. Figure out a person on self.
Yeah. Why not?
Figure out yourself.
Figure out myself. Because I'm trying to like figure out what I know about magic. That makes sense. Okay, that is a 10.
Okay. You can ask yourself some questions.
Yeah. So,
They can ask one of you in return would be really interesting on asking. You can ask yourself a question back.
yeah. Um, I guess my question would be then how would you feel if I used magic? I guess. Trying to pull like what does that look like
Yeah.
if I were to use it sort
Yeah.
of thing.
What does that look like for you? How do you feel about that as someone who do
Yeah.
you feel like has Fifala ever used magic before? Like, do you consider any of the things you can do to be do you have
I
any moves that are more magical or like no?
know.
Mhm.
I feel like I don't see my sunbaking as like magic. It is just healing in
Mhm.
my eyes. Like
Yeah.
food is medicine, and so that is what I provide.
Mm.
Um and then my other ones are about my obsessions.
Yeah.
And my obsession is talking at somebody to make them back down from a
Mm.
fight. So like nothing that I do has ever made me feel like it was magic, but I remember like talking to people at the Capitol and remembering my own like family and the village that I'm in and remembering like that even if something doesn't feel magical, there is magic in it. I don't remember the exact word for
Yeah.
it. Thank you. Um, but everything around me has magic in one way or another. And community of people and um being around laughter and where I'm at basically provides an even oh no sun he got caught in my cord being in community with these people and having this familial tie to a lot of them provides a much larger like landscape for um this becoming of magic. um so um with that being said, um I quickly want to find my older sibling, Tui, um, and just kind of ask him um, where the last ceremony of the village was.
Okay. Yeah, you find him. It seems like he has sort of maybe a little bit reluctantly. Kind of think you didn't leave him in the best of moods. But gone over and like kind of joined in, but like joined in on the outskirts. Like he's not gone into the middle of the crowd.
Mhm.
But is talking to some people who I'm sure you recognize on the outskirts of the crowd, and you kind of go
Yeah.
over and awkwardly get attention. Hi, me again. Hi, still here.
Come here.
And he will point you in the direction, but will also ask why you're asking.
Um, do you remember all those fights that we got in? Uh, like at the end of schooling and everything. Uh,
Maybe
you
not
know,
every individual one, but the general gist. Yeah.
general idea. I chose to keep that of you for me. Does that make sense? Like, wherever I go, I know that you're there with me because I can say all the shit that you said to, uh, ramp up those fights, but also break them up. And, uh, son, um, I don't want to not have you around all the time anymore, but I have to find a way out of here, and I may have a way to do it where I have to cut those ties with you.
Oh, I would hope those aren't the only ties with me you have.
No, 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 no. You're still my sibling. We still, you know, shit at each other whenever we see each other. All those things are still gonna exist, but um, I held on to you when I left, and I held on to your spirit, and now I think I have to let it go. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna try to come back because I am gonna actually probably talk to the family when I get back so I can just come back for a few weeks. Just be with all of you again if you'll let me. But I do you remember when I mentioned cheeseburgers? Very briefly.
Yeah, do remember
Uh
you saying that word.
yeah. The person that is on the other side of that has been my focus for a while, and I think I can take something I've seen them do. Actually, it's the reason why I'm here to go back to the capital.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Not much of that makes a whole lot of sense to me, but I trust if you say so that you know what's going on with all that capital stuff a lot more than I would. But
Yeah,
just
more than you, but not a lot. John, I'm a kid. I stay in the kitchen a lot. I like cooking and making hummus outside and stuff. But you know about that. So
Well, if that's what you need to do to get back,
yeah, but I'll be back.
okay. You better be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, do you want me to show you the way you think you can get there, or too unfamiliar with the path after all this
I
time?
think you know the answer to that, and you can just shit on me all you want for not having a sense of direction in this village anymore.
You didn't totally have a sense of direction when you lived here, so.
Okay, you know. Okay, I get it.
And
I
you
get
can
it.
you can tell kind of on the leftover of like figuring out your older sibling that like that last bit was the most like genuine joking that
Yeah,
he's been with you the whole time you've been
yeah.
back. Like it seems like maybe a little bit of the anger is gone now that
Mhm.
you spent a little bit of time here. As yeah, he makes a genuine joke that it's not made out of anger and then guides you in the direction that you're looking for. When you get there, it is quieter here. You are further away from the people, the crowds, and the laughter, but you can still hear it in the distance. That's the nice thing about a small town is that
Yeah.
noise carries. You're never too far from anything or anyone else. So I think you still have the laughter and the sounds of a celebration in the background as your sibling looks at you and is like, "Well, whatever you're gonna do, I don't think I have anything to do with. So good luck. And if it doesn't work, I guess I don't know. I guess you'll still be here. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
well, see you next time." And he heads back.
Yeah. So I am abandoning my obsession of exact wording. How's that milkshake taste? And in the process of taking astral dance as my obsession, um I do like a traditional dance on the ceremonial grounds, pulling the, the the energy of the ceremony of before, converting it into magic, um, and then to kind of heighten it and to fully cut off my previous obsession to what my brother and I had done. I take my ponytail and I take the knife that is in my pocket and I cut off my ponytail, to sever that previous connection that I had
Okay.
with them. Um, and
Does
yeah,
that trigger anything in your playbook when you change obsessions?
it doesn't
Okay,
say that I do.
cool.
It just says describe how this decision impacts your relationship with the person. And so I lose all strings that I have on Tui. And so for me, that emotional connection and safety blanket that I had, even though
Mhm,
I was in the capital, I knew that my brother was around all the time. And so I now need to reevaluate how I can survive
mhm,
not being home and in a strange, large place like the capital.
mhm. Okay. Yeah. You do that. You break the tie. You focus on the new object of your obsession, this new thing that you can do, this magic that you can use that you've never used before. And go ahead and roll, because Astral Dance does require a roll,
Yes.
to see what happens. If you need, that is going to be plus.
Grace.
Yeah.
Um, because I'm taking this from Heck, can I burn the string that I have with Heck to add?
Sure, I like that. I don't know if that's in the rules, but I'm also not super familiar with your playbook. So I'm gonna say go ahead.
Sweet. Um, so for um Faifala, that just kind of looks like this encroaching feeling of everything that I just fucked up at home, and that's starting to like embrace and just like hold me um as like this new obsession is someone who I've been trying to do stuff for like not even like 3 months, and I haven't gotten anywhere with it, and now it's becoming less of this connection to my family and to where I come from and more to this like toxic perception of myself based on someone else's perception of me and my perception of how they're reacting to things.
Okay, then yeah. What do you get on your roll, your astral dance?
Um I get an 11
Okay,
with that.
yeah. You arrive at a distant destination of your choice on a 10 plus. So the question is, where are you trying to go?
I'm trying to go to Ace because that is where I'm assuming that everyone else is. Also he's not on my back anymore, so that's the way I gotta get there.
Gotta get there. Gotta figure out. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, we will then bring back the group as you are going to be rejoining with the others shortly. Not all of the others, because Heck is not there, but most of the others. As Fifala materializes where Ace is, seemingly just like wandering around, like in a town. They're not really particularly. They seem to. They've gotten off the roof by the time that you
Damn
materialize
it.
near them, and they're just sort of walking down a street. And I think you like do you materialize behind them or in front of them? You roll an
In
11, so I'm
front.
gonna let you choose. Okay, yeah,
Absolutely.
they are walking, and just like reach. You just appear in front of them,
Yeah.
and so you get a very like, oh, ah, ah, you came, you were not there. You
Yeah.
came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Uh,
You why did you jump off my back? What's up with that?
where? What? Whoa. Jump off your back. I didn't. I found a lizard, and then I think I was invisible for a bit, and then I found Heck, and we talked, and then you gave me something that tasted really good, and then I fell asleep.
Yeah.
I woke up on that roof.
Okay. Well, at least I'm not on a roof because I'm not good at climbing. But can I make you more food that isn't gonna make you sleepy?
Sure. Yeah,
Awesome.
that's
Okay.
fine. I don't remember. I don't really remember being on. Wait, wait, wait. Okay, no, I do remember like climbing on your back. I maybe I fell off. I don't think I was holding on very securely, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. So what pops into my hands is just a piece of fried bread that is glowing slightly, and I give it to them. I roll a 7, so I can't make this for the rest of the session, but it's the end of session, so I don't care. Um, and so this will be a sweet. It tastes too sweet. Um, and so when Ace eats it, they'll glow for a few hours, so we can't lose them.
Amazing. Yeah. They don't question the glow. Because the really nice thing about Ace is that they don't learn lessons very well, which is also a really negative thing about Ace. But like you have handed them so many different strange foods that have impacted them in so many different ways, and they never say no to anything that you offer. Like glowing bread, okay. Um, and then I don't even think they are bothered or phased by the starting to glow that happens afterwards. They're just like, I don't entirely know where we are, nor how we got here. Again, like sleeping, roof, woke up, climbed down. That took a minute. Uh, I've been like
Yeah.
trying to orient and get directions, but now it's kind of dark. Although I guess it's not like dark now anymore. Um, he says
Yeah.
as he looks down and is like glowing gently.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I assume everyone's gonna be here. By everyone, I mean like, Callie and Sayo and heck, they'll be here. We'll go back. Hopefully, we don't have to walk. I really don't want to walk. Yeah, just you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. We
Okay.
can't lose you anymore.
Oh. Oh yeah. No. Yeah. I guess you can't. Um. Yeah. I think like the edge of town is that way. I think, which is where I was going. Um,
I think we should just hang tight.
okay.
There's that cafe right there. Let's go sit at a
Okay.
table and you
Like
can
stay
tell
put.
me,
Yeah.
yeah, sit put and stay put. And then you can tell me what you want for dinner and I will make that for you.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that, especially if like people are coming. That is, they always keep telling me like when you're lost, you're supposed to say where you are, right?
Yeah.
Um, which doesn't make any sense to me because I'm like, how are you supposed to find the people you're looking for? Because you gotta like go to move to find them. Um,
So
but
okay. Riddle me this. You're walking, and then someone's like over here walking this way, and then you miss each other.
I mean, yeah, that can happen. But like,
It keeps happening.
you're gonna cover more ground if you're all moving.
Cover what ground? You subtract ground as you move.
Yeah, but you might run into someone that you know because you're like moving toward them.
No, that is not how this. Okay. Well, I need other people to also help me explain this.
Yeah, I think you
Oh,
like go in the cafe and you sit down and you'd have like coffee cups and like things trying to like diagram this out.
yeah.
Like, okay, if you're this cup of coffee and I'm this cup of coffee and we're moving. Yeah.
What?
It seems to most I think you've had a version of this conversation with her before. It seems to mostly go right over her head.
Yeah.
But eventually the carriage rolls into town with Kelly and Sayo. You make your way through it doesn't take long to like be just kind of going through town and see a glow coming from inside a window, be like, that's odd, that's probably what we're looking for, right? Like I think that's pretty much the assumption at this point, is like odd equals ace. So you have a minute here with most of you all reunited. You get Ace back in the carriage. Is there any conversation that happens in the carriage on the way back to the kingdom?
I think my first question is where is Heck?
Damn it, that was mine.
So we say it at the same time.
She said she was coming. How did you get here? They said they were.
Uh,
I did see them. They were coming to get you because apparently you were a ways away.
yeah,
Did that happen?
I was a few days away. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. But that you just got here. They didn't find you.
No, I had help from my village elders to.
Fuck.
Get back.
That means I don't know where they are. Okay. I'm glad you're okay. You're okay, right?
Yeah. Physically speaking.
Yeah. Yeah. Sayo kind of offhanded looks at Ace and goes, "I'm going to tie you to your mattress."
You keep saying that.
And you keep wandering up.
Sounds like a lot of
Put
work.
you to the
Need help?
floor.
Happy to help.
Yeah. I don't know where Heck is, but they should be able to find me. Was the insinuation I got. So maybe we just head back.
Yeah.
God damn it! I thought we
I
were
mean,
done.
there's only one way through the. I mean, I saw the mountains. Like, I feel like this is just like a straight shot.
Oh yeah, I don't think they were like gonna travel to you. I think they were gonna do the thing that fucked up.
Oh. Yeah,
Um,
I know the thing.
Interesting.
No.
Oh,
Like,
oh, yeah, that's
it's the
fine.
reason. It's the reason why, like,
Yeah. No, that sounds useful.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I
What?
think. I don't know.
Congratulations
What did you
on what?
think?
What?
You did a new thing. Cool and
No, no,
exciting, I guess.
no. My village elders got me here.
Gotcha. Well,
Yeah.
Oh, you were home. Sayo does not. I don't think Sayo knows jack shit about where you came from. You
Yeah.
just appeared in the castle and they were like new person.
And
so they
Farfalla
do
does not disclose anything.
Yeah, so they do not
So they're like,
interrogate that at all.
yeah, I was home.
Okay. Cool. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, let's get in the carriage. Their croissants here are really good. If you want me to pick up some for the ride home,
Sounds good.
awesome.
Sayo has
grab-
a hand in like the back of Ace's collar. Just to really get
So
him
when we
in
get
out
in
of
the
carriage
carriage,
that
you
I
can
can
let
lock.
go.
Yeah.
So you can have 2 hands to eat 2 croissants at once.
Yeah. Once I can lock the doors. Until then,
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Callie's first question was also like, "Where is Heck?" But didn't really talk much because it was just like ping pong or something. But so they just kind of like zoned out a little, and then they just ended up staring at Ace because Ace was glowing so naturally. And then might have ended up talking about like their bird friend and everything with Ace.
oh yeah, is the
too,
bird friend still here?
Parallel,
I love that.
Yeah.
but parallel conversations.
Yeah.
And I think maybe Callie would have brought up the carvings again too, because those were interesting and they didn't really get to dive into like that whole abandoned town or anything. And maybe Ace knows about that, or maybe they don't. But yeah, they also like pick up random little bits of the other conversation and are wondering like it's like maybe Heck's home, but like maybe Heck ended up in another random place too. So they're also worried about that.
Yeah, Ace does not seem to know anything about the town or about the carvings when you ask, though they are delighted to meet. I think the bird friend is sort of just like been casually following along. Like it's kind of thing where like you'll see them and then you don't, and then they'll be back. Like they're not really hovering right overhead. But at this point, they're kind of just like flying circles overhead, and Ace can look up and see them, and then they sort of fly off, going somewhere. Maybe they'll be back, maybe they won't. Um, but Ace does get in the carriage. I don't think that that is optional at this point. I think that is coerced and forced a little tiny bit. Not that Ace doesn't want to. Like Ace
being
is
frog
willingly
marched.
going.
Yeah.
But like it doesn't matter how willing or not at this point. It is the only option available to them. And yeah, they go. They get back in the carriage. Are you all planning on trying to find Heck? Like, what seems to be the next plan from this now that you're all here together, -1?
Does anyone have like a mechanism for locating Heck?
Not at all.
Yeah, I was told that Heck has a mechanism for finding me that I left with them. So I'm just gonna go and put Ace back in their pretty little locked bird cage that they will get out of again next week. And hope that Heck can find us. But once we drop off Ace, I think they might be more actively looking.
I think for Callie, it would depend on if they knew about that. So that would depend on if like Sayo
Oh, yeah.
shared that.
Saya will say
Okay.
that.
All right. Then
Not
they'd be less worried.
Saya will catch themselves before the exact details of how they were found, because you know we have conversations that don't need to be. Not everyone is as comfortable. And just because they found me and should be able to do so again, but I have no idea where they are right now.
And they have that thing that got us all separated in the first place. to
Right.
get to
So
get
hopefully,
wherever they need to.
hopefully they can't be stuck somewhere.
I don't think so.
So then I think for Callie, it would come down to like if Heck's missing for an extended period of time, then they'd be worried again. But for now, it seems like if Heck wants to be found, they'll come. So they're not as worried about that.
I think the problem is I don't know that Heck has ever wanted to be found, really by
Yeah, that's what
anyone.
I was just thinking. Is just like I think
Yeah,
the
I
thing
think
that's
is
just the logic.
this is normal. For
Yeah, I
Hank
think-
not to be there.
Heck does disappear. The The anomaly this time is that they told us they would be somewhere, and now she isn't. So,
Yeah.
But
And uh, the recent surprise teleportation. So maybe like something's still off or something.
But since Heck is the one who can teleport, it stands to reason that she could just teleport back to all of you. No problems.
Right.
hopefully,
Hopefully.
that's
Fingers
twice
crossed.
now that it may not have worked. So we'll see.
That's a when we get back to the capital problem.
Yeah. Once we
Yeah,
get
for
this
now,
one
croissants.
inside and watched. Don't. We need new
Alrighty.
guards.
Yeah, you get back in. Ace sees the croissants that you brought and it's like, did you bring any for me? Even though they just had some in the cafe.
Of course I did.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Like just
Travel
for the
croissants.
road. Like we've got ways to travel, I think, from what I can tell. So yeah, road snacks, and they will take their snacks for the road as you make the journey back home. As you are, I think you ride back into town like with the sunrise. Uh, Time is fake anyways, so the
Yes.
in-game time works out such that you ride back into town
Yeah,
as
that
the
sounds
sun
right.
is rising. I don't actually know how long you were on this leg of your journey for, but it's morning now. You ride back into town with the sunrise, the light gleaming off of Sayo's arms as they are reflective through the windows, and everyone, I think, like got some rest on the carriage, but it is kind of hard to sleep when you're bouncing along. And you start making your way back into town, and as you are going through the windy streets of the capital of the kingdom, you see, just kind of out of the corner of your eye, you each catch a different poster advertising a town fair that will be coming into town in 1 week. Exactly. And we will figure out what happens with Heck, what happens next with Ace in 1 week's time for all of your characters, and about a month for all of our players. Possibly. Next month is looking a little busy. We might take another 2 month break, but we will be back with another session of our Oops All Ace Anthology. Thank you, everyone, for being here, for watching. I'm going to have my players go around and do their outros, but now that we are not doing active storytelling anymore, since we're just going to go around and introduce ourselves. I do want to point out that the charity link is still live. It is live through the end of our stream, and it is the most recent thing in our chat. We are still raising money. If we get to any of our donation incentive markers, we are, I think, $30 away from our first donation giveaway. If we don't get it this month, that's why we come back next month, and we'll still have the same giveaways next month. But if anyone is here and still wants to donate, there is still time to do that while we go around and do our outros. And with that, players, why don't you go ahead and say your goodbyes? Tell everyone who you are, who you've been playing, where you can be found, and any other projects that you have going on.
I'll go first again, just to keep it consistent. Hi, everybody. My name is Marm. I use they, she pronouns, and today I have been playing a Faifala who uses she, they pronouns, our sun hand / chef, croissant lover, and a little bit of a liar. Fun stuff. So, yeah, that's been me tonight. You can find me at Blue Sky at Merm with 3 R's. That's MIRRRM. Where I'll be posting all the things that I'm doing for Ha Fun Things. And then the next upcoming project for sure is on Saturday, where I play Deborah over here actually on Nerds with Dice. We're just out here in the zombie apocalypse trying to survive. And I'm just trying to keep this accent up for as long as possible. So yeah, that's me.
You do a great job with it.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, I am Charlie. My pronouns are they, them. I played Callie, the nature witch. And my handle on various social media is she regenerated 13, SHEREGENERATED. 1-3. And I mostly make like queer and Doctor Who art. And I have a link tree, so which will show you all the different places that I am, including like Ko-fi with like art commissions and imprint, selling acrylics and art prints and things like that. Um, yeah, and then I do have an orange cat named Charmander who's not here right now, but he joins us sometimes for games. And yeah, I'll pass along.
For just a moment, I forgot that I was next. Hi, it's Dizzy the Bard. They, them. Uh, I don't know, there's not a ton to say about me. If you want to find me anywhere on the internet, I'm probably there as Dizzy the Bard, unless I'm not there at all, in which case you can't find me there, I hope. You should be able to find me on like Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, etc. All the places because I am a music person and my music is in the music places. You can also find me on Patreon if you love throwing your money away because I don't post as much on Patreon as I really ought to. I'm working on it. Uh, yeah, that's about it.
Hi, I'm Sneha. I've been playing your, I forgot what you were called, Dream Mirror Sayo today. I am at Sneha Moithaker on every platform, but I am not actually on any of the platforms. So if you're trying to find me, the internet's not a great place to do it. But if I'm doing stuff, it'll be on one of them.
Right, and my name is Quinn. I use any and all pronouns. You can find me on Blue Sky at QuinnBeckham27. You can also find me here with Merm playing Zombie Apocalypse. It's a ton of fun. Do yourself a favor if you didn't watch our session from last night. At least go into the clips here on Nerds with Dice and watch Merm's most clippable moment. I'm not gonna spoil it. Just go watch it. It was our very sad episode where there was crying and tears, but also a full minute of laughter, courtesy of really fun NPC names.
Woo!
Super appropriate and wonderful. So yeah, I will be there. That is here on Nerds with Dice. It is a ongoing campaign. We are every Saturday consistently at 8 p.m. Central, if I'm not making up times.
Nope,
Um,
you're good.
woo! Ah, other things for me right now. I don't know what else I'm doing. Uh, uh, yes. Um, I don't know if I can announce that yet. I have a thing coming up on the 27th that I don't know if I can announce the specifics of quite yet. But it is another charity game with some really cool people. So if you want to find out more about that, you can follow me on social media where I will post about it as soon as I am able to give more details. And other than that, Nerds with Dice has some other cool stuff going on. I wish I had the list, but I believe next Wednesday is Skies Above, which is a game that is currently and actively on Kickstarter, and you can go check it out there on its Kickstarter page. I believe it is actively funding. It's either this Wednesday or next Wednesday. And everything else that Nerds with Dice is doing, you can find in our ending scene that we're about to go to, which will tell you all of the fun things that are coming soon here at Nerds with Dice, which will include the community theater at some point in the near future, which I'm going to be hopefully helping out with, including more charity games and more game showcases. So, with that, and including again the next game of this at some undisclosed point in the next month or two, as we will continue to be back with more Oops All Ace, Thirsty Sword Lesbian Anthology. And of course, as we go to our ending scene, not only will you be able to see all the cool things that are coming next on Nerds with Dice, but we'll have Dizzy's music back again to close us out. So thank you everyone for coming, for listening and hanging out with us today, and thank you everyone who donated, and we will see you when we see you.
Bye.